Yeah.
That's my show noise.
Yeah, the
That's a
show
good
noise.
before show noise.
Yeah. I always laugh away. I feel like I'm usually pretty okay about talking into the mic, but laughing, nope.
Yeah, you do laugh. It sounds like I'm not funny on this show. So you do it again. Because I say something that I think is funny, and I can see you dying, but you turn away from the microphone.
Yep.
So the audience at home just gets this silence that happens. No knowledge that I'm actually doing anything whatsoever.
Killing it. I feel like I usually do the quiet laugh too. I usually do a little chuckle.
You do. Yeah. You are a little bit like the dog in Wacky Racers, a little bit, with the.
Right.
Wacky Racers.
Yes. Once you did that noise,
ancient cartoon that both of us are too old or young for.
Cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's very.
I
old.
have seen it. I think on
That's
Boomerang.
Good.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's a thing. Kind of like this show, which we've been recording for 20 minutes. Intro music!
Why was I about to make it?
Were you going to make the intro music? Ryan, intro music, go!
Bum, and then I don't... Yeah, that's what it sounds like, right?
I forgot what our intro music is.
That's kind of where I was at. I was like, I forgot.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this show, this episode of the Atlanta Warhammer podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Ryan.
And we're going to do a show today about a book that we read weeks ago, and we're now playing a campaign in it.
Cool.
So, first off, yes, you're going, but Zach, we haven't heard from you in months. Are you guys still okay?
Crickets.
Cricket noise. Yeah. No, we're fine. It's stuff gets hard. The holidays, I can't help it. Holidays get hard. They get me hard. Around the holidays?
Dude, all those Easter eggs.
What?
What? I said all those Easter eggs.
Oh man, wait, I was talking about Christmas.
That's what I figured, but I was like,
you're one of those weird Christian subfamily things that's like,
yeah,
we celebrate all the holidays
just into
on
the bunny.
one day.
Yeah,
just to get it done.
Yeah.
You're allowed one day of happiness and then back to being whatever. We were gonna I'm gonna be coughing this whole show.
Nurgle's rot has already infected you.
I'm feeling sicklish on that a little bit. Cyclic. I'm feeling cyclic, like the cycle of corruption, which is something that exists in the Nurgle Battle Tome, which is not what we're talking about. That's right. If you looked at the title and you said, "Oh, Blights Gone Wild," that's got to be Nurgle. It's not. It's the book that's called The Blighted Wilds. Ryan, flip the book over.
No,
I can't. Path to Glory, Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Path to Glory. Your hand is directly over.
No, it's not. Blighted Will. Blighted Will.
Blighted Wills.
Blighted Wilds.
Yes. Which is a narrative book that is part Path to Glory rules and part a little story. And we thought we'd talk about it and just kind of, chat for a little bit. Just welcome back. We have Adepticon previews are out currently as you are listening to this, possibly.
Okay.
So we will have a preview response episode.
Cool.
And there's some rumors. We're going to talk about some rumors at the end of this episode. Okay. Some hot, saucy rumors about Age of Sigmar that are absolutely not true.
Oh, okay.
People are losing their minds over a couple of them that are, when I explain them to you, you as someone in this industry will realize the insane decision it would take for them to do this.
Okay.
And you will go, there's no way they're going to do that. It's a business decision.
Oh, okay. I think I've missed the rumors then.
It's as the last couple of days.
Oh, okay,
but in the culture of Warhammer people, and hey, here's a little inside baseball for those of you listening that aren't in the game industry. A lot of people would judge.
It's not hollow?
What?
The inside of baseballs, it's not hollow?
Yeah. No, it's not.
No?
It's full of bees.
Oh,
when they get out, they are mad.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, they do not like being in there. What was I saying?
I'm sorry.
So
inside baseball,
some people, this thing, we'll get more in the rumor section about this whole thing where it's like, oh, Games Workshop is doing this because, well, they've made boneheaded decisions in the 70s like this before and like that. They're huge now. They're like a part of their nation's GDP or something crazy.
Whoa.
Like, they're big. They're not going to make a bonehead decision like they did 25, 30 years ago anymore. Sorry, guys. They're big and corporate now. But
Henry Cavill might beat them up.
Henry Cavill will beat them up.
I think he will.
Yes. There was some show I was watching, or clips, and the host was trying to talk to Henry Cavill about like Warhammer, but in kind of a mocking way a little bit, where they were like, oh, so tell us about like these little guys that you collect, and then you go out and you fight with them. But then every other guest on this show was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Tell me about it. And so it ended up just being Henry Cavill talking to the guests about it, and they were all very interested, and the host was like excluded.
Oh no!
And I was like, that's pretty good. You tried to mock them. You tried to mock Superman.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
With you?
Yeah, that's.
You tried to mock Mark.
Let's
do a clean take of him. You tried to mock Geralt from The Witcher. Right, Jerry, old Jared.
Yeah, old Jared.
I
was trying to remember a quote to do.
From The Witcher.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Wind's howling. I know that's pretty much it.
I cut off your hand. Better hope I don't cut off the other hand.
Yeah.
He might say that.
I mean,
this sword's for killing people, and this one's for killing other monsters. Because doesn't he have two swords?
But I think the quote that he does in like that is like both swords are for monsters. It's like I think that's the
real
joke.
monsters are men.
Yeah, that's
the men are the monsters I kill. Why is he turning into Batman? The men are the monsters I kill.
That's exactly what I was
turning into Batman
thinking.
and Trump at the same time. The men are the monsters I kill. Gotham City is the most protected for me. My batarangs are normal size.
I'm gonna take all these potions.
I'm gonna take all the cat's eye potions. The doctors say I'm doing the best at them. Swear to me. Oh, well, anyway, hey, thank you, all of you, for listening to this show and for stopping by. And, we appreciate our fans. So big thank you to our fans for sticking with us through whatever this is. Yeah, and a big apology, too, for that. And we have more episodes coming up this year because maybe we'll tease a little bit with the direction.
This year. That's a good... this year.
Oh,
It'll happen at some point.
I know better than to say anything on this show.
That's
because
smart.
It will be wrong and somebody will email me. And I love all of the fervent fans we have that are like, hey, we miss you guys. Well, shut up. We're here now. Stop missing us.
Is it right?
That's weird. Parasocial monster. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, right.
Keep telling us you like the show. It's fun. I really enjoy being in places.
No, that was cool.
Having people just be like, hey. Or the person that went through our boss to tell him that they missed the show because they knew he knew how to get to us to tell us.
I missed that.
So whoever you are, thanks for that. That was a weird connection. Yeah, somebody went and told the Giga Boys that they missed that we weren't doing the show. Or they said they missed that they weren't doing the podcast anymore. Because while we are sponsored by Gigabytes, we are not Gigabytes.
No.
Because I can say poo-poo kitty poop.
Poo-poo kitty poop?
Yeah. Can you say that at Gigabytes? I don't know. But if you're looking to see if you can go to gigabytesonline.com and you can buy some stuff. That's the only sponsor read I want to do. Let's talk about this book.
The book!
Let's talk about this book.
Okay.
So,
where are we beginning?
The front.
The front?
The cover. Let's look at the cover. Because this is one thing I want to point out. That's the inside of the cover.
So,
Ryan.
I'm getting this cool artwork here that... No, but yeah, it's the faded artwork.
Yeah. I like the fact that the cover has the characters on it that has been kit bashed. Within the story?
Right?
That was a
this Cities of Sigmar guy?
Yeah,
that looks awesome.
Plague Doctor hat and stuff. Yeah, so good. So this had some thought because they had to kit batch the models and stuff. Like this story meant something to somebody, and that's pretty cool. Boy, there's so much reused in Nurgle art. I get it; it's fine, but I am kind of seeing the same picture of Great Unclean Ones I've seen for 15 years now. So, Path to Glory is a system. I'm just going to quickly for people that don't know. So Path to Glory is a system where you play Warhammer Age of Sigmar and you essentially level up your characters throughout the game, throughout multiple games. This one has a cool branching like storyline depending on which missions you do and who wins determines the next map you play. Think of it like this. If you are coming to Age of Sigmar and you've only been playing games with your friends and just kind of sitting around, this is a way to narratively tell a story about this and kind of go through all the things. It helps if you have the army that is in the book or somewhat related, but you can always play these with whatever you want, and it kind of makes sense however you want it to make. But yeah, so that's what Path to Glory is, and it's the most ignored but one of the coolest parts of the Age of Sigmar system because it lets you build a little story, tell your little guys doing stuff.
Customizing your hero is pretty cool too. The anvil
Doing an anvil. Yeah, that's neat. And whoa, what a divide if you don't have a book.
Yeah.
Not having an anvil versus having access to an anvil is an insanely unfair divide. Because the anvil heroes are so good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just cool.
Like, I purposely made mine not as powerful as he could have been because I was worried he was going to start getting into that level of, like, unattainably too good for his points cost.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, that's how this book works. And, like, most of the other... Well, I guess they've only really done 2 of these. But so, like, how these 2 work... All right, Offset, we're being delivered a sign that says Age of Sigma and has what looks like a horrifying duck monster drawn on it. Okay, cool. We'll put that on the Instagram.
Sweet,
so
yeah.
If you're wondering what the heck that means, you have to check out the Instagram and find it.
Awesome.
It fell over.
No, it immediately
It
died.
fell over. So anyway, they did one other one of these before. And
Wait, this is only the second one?
of this style.
Oh,
so they had ones before, way back in the day. They had the Realmgate Wars, which were like 4 massive books full of stuff. Then they've done ones leading up to various events, and they'll have like these 3 or 4 book cycles. So like they did the one with the Crone last time. Before that, you had Marathi and the whole Anvil Guard thing. So like they tell these big stories. These little books, like we're about to talk, don't seem like they move the needle forward a crazy amount story-wise. They're more
more
about
of a
like
side story. It's kind of like a little, expansion here that you can explore, but it's not.
This is like
predominantly
what your
main
guys
storyline.
are doing.
Yes.
Because I know that is the thing about the Broken Realms and the other ones is it's kind of like, here's the battle between Nagash and Teclis.
Right.
Figure out why you're here and how to fight this battle. Or if you just have those armies, here's how to reenact it. This one is more like, here's what your guys could be doing while this whole big change is happening with Nurgle invading and the Skaven and all that. Like, here's a little side story for you. Or a side story for this guy. Who's our city's named character that is we're hanging out with? Who's this grizzled... I'm time for you. He's this grizzled old doctor who's like, just one more job and he's out of it for good.
He's not on the first page. That's why I'm like, now I'm going further forward.
Oh, no.
Because we begin with kind of like a missive...
yeah, I guess let's start from the beginning.
From the archives.
Take us away, Ryan.
Am I reading?
To a magical land. No, I don't.
But no, I'm
on you.
Because like, I mean, I was trying to like sum this up, but because we have sort of they're going back and forth with Matriarch Giranus of the Hammerhall Gira.
Yes.
Which is this is
that's the split one.
Yes. Okay.
Hammerhall Gira and Akshi, for those of you that don't know, is split between Akshi and Gyran, and it is it's got a big realm gate in the middle, and they trade resources back and forth through it. It's the main city of Sigmar, I think. Kind of what there's like, that's supposed to be the one that's like the main character. It's the New York of the city of Sigmars. Like it's your biggest metropolis.
Yes. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, Grunhorn.
No, sure.
Grunhorn.
Okay.
That's our guy. So, because he was attempting to retire.
Yes.
And then he's getting pulled back in.
Just one last job.
Yeah. The classic.
He was so close to getting out.
Yeah. And so he's
Luckily,
getting pulled back
my
in.
swords are for killing monsters.
Yeah.
The monsters are me.
Where are my swords?
Where are my swords?
He then loses them. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so
we
don't have cameras because why would we do that?
Oh no, you don't want to see me.
But so the way our mics are, it's kind of hard to read things directly in front of your head. So if there's a weird pause, it's because we're trying not to smack the microphones for the first episode ever of this GD show. We're gonna not hit the microphones. Don't do it.
Nope. But no, we begin with that. Him sort of getting pulled back in, and then we have like.
He's pulled back in because Nurgle is showing back up.
Yeah.
It's so also what's cool about this, it ties in a little bit with the big board game.
Oh yes, what was? I'm trying to remember the Dark something.
Dark Tide, Dark Water.
It's not Dark
Pirates
Tide.
of Dark Water.
Parktide? It's like
Park
right
Tide,
next to the,
Parktide?
Oh,
No. Games Workshop taking it in some weird directions. Well, they are a British company, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it called? Darkwater?
Dark Water. I don't know.
Is that it?
Guys, we'll look this up.
I feel terrible
I can't
now.
look it up. I'll look it up while you do some other stuff. But it does tie into that.
But yeah, this is sort of it's opening and it's talking about how Nurgle's homies are starting to like
Warhammer Quest Darkwater. We were sort of in the area.
Well, it sounds like Darktide, and
also my Google search was Darkwater Warhammer Dark Tide Sigmar.
Yeah. Darktide Sigmar.
Google, please tell me what I'm looking for. So, yeah, it ties into that too. Yeah, because that's the temple where basically Nurgle's trying to corrupt. In the storyline of that game, Nurgle is trying to corrupt that temple, and some people get sent to investigate it, and you are the people, either the caretakers or the people sent to investigate X, Y. And then the story happens. So that's that one. But there are references to that in this book.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So apparently,
I did not catch that.
Nurgle's happening. That's like 1 or 2 lines.
Okay.
But it's basically saying like, oh yeah, that thing over in the blank is sure happening right now. Because it can't. It's a board game, so like what the actual lore ending of that story isn't out yet. They'll probably wait a couple of years before they say definitively this is what happened during that thing. So this book has to just go, boy, that thing that's happening sure is occurring.
Oh, because they want to wait
now,
so the people complain. Yeah, that makes sense.
Boy, over there is a lot of stuff that looks like it might go one way or the other, and he can't like tell you anything else about that.
That is that's a tough way to set up. It's cool to be able to play through that, but it is also tough on their part to continue the story.
Yeah.
And then you have to put it on the back burner. That's kind of tough.
I've always thought it would be very difficult to write lore for this game system because you have to write it for everybody's little guys.
Yep.
And their armies, and then you have to make sure, much like comic books, that you're not counteracting something somewhere else that somebody said. So, oh, this can't happen because they had this artifact from 1,000 years ago. Or do you just say, screw it, just write stuff. And then if someone goes, well, canonically, the Gits wouldn't be in this region, you go, I don't know.
Yeah. We could honestly, we could come back around to that when we talk about, like, the end of the sort of, like, because I know you were going to sort of compare this to some of the other ones that are out there. Like, because I would almost question, does that make this book better or worse in the sense of like it's more of a side story, could be better for people. I don't know. We could come back to that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of setup here on sort of what is exactly happening with like Nurgle's sort of guys getting set up in the region. And then we're sort of talking about the region and what it's looking like right now, and we have these like named areas like
big centerfold there.
Yeah, no, I think this is cool. Like seeing like the Plague Spire, Emeludum,
and like, this is the second time we've been back to this area. Way back in the Realmgate Wars, this is where Nurgle was attempting to basically attack and gain a foothold then. And I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in this book as a quick reference, like, hey, he's done this. Like, this is where Nurgle wants to be.
Right. It kind of just makes sense.
Yeah,
like, it's the area of life, so.
He's a god of life. Also, he wants to put Alariel in his soup.
Yeah, it's soup. It's good soup.
It's good soup, though.
It's good
He's
soup.
making that good soup. What if we just didn't record anything else after that for like a solid 5 minutes?
Oh my god, right? Just keep it going.
The urge to just keep going, that's good soup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quality. Why do people listen to this show? I've never known.
That's a great aside in the middle of,
Yeah. Why are you here?
But then it opens.
No, it
more officially.
That's funny. It does open with like a This feels like somebody wants this to be a screenplay in its pacing.
Honestly, yeah. Whenever
you have
put
like
it,
the opening scene, which would be the credits coming in, is like the guy gets the letter, and it's I'm back for one last job. I'm gonna need my guns and knives and gun knife.
Because we have. So sorry, I'm also reading. Yeah,
I wish we had a camera so you could all watch Ryan get sucked into a paragraph and forget he's on a podcast for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so because our buddy Grunhorn here, he gets his missive. And he comes out, and then I'm trying to see how exactly... I was trying to find the exact connection of how he starts talking to our Seraphon friends here. And Mr. Skarad? Nope. I read a capital...
So he encounters some Seraphon. He's getting a force together, and they're going to investigate this Nurgle corruption. And so the missive is basically like, you're the best leader we have because you are the best doctor we have. That's going to be probably the best at understanding what the heck Nurgle is doing to people. Mm-hmm. So he gets his little crew together, and they go out and they encounter some Seraphon, which is, do you have the description of the guys? Because I think it's really funny.
Oh, if you want me to go over...
Yeah, just the description of the little guys and the big guy.
Let's see. This is Grunhorn sort of saying some of his first reactions there. I was not even certain they could speak. The largest of the beasts, the crocodilians, holding twin-handed mauls, made no attempt to do so. But their leader, the smaller beast atop a floating palanquin, was willing to talk. Getting him to stop was the difficulty. So, a really yapping little leader here.
Just I'm trying to imagine what a skink would be yapping on about.
I'm curious.
About? It's like, you guys read the latest constellations? They're stars and they tell you the future. You guys reading them? You guys got to follow up with them. You guys got the latest edition? No, you're fine. Like,
he's just rambling about side things that could happen, and then you're just trying to find the through line of what's right now. What's right now?
Oh, you guys are with the Cities of Sigmar? Yeah, Fusiliers are pretty good after that point's hit. He's completely like connected to the meta.
No. He's talking he's talking about the actual game.
Oh, you double reinforced those guys.
Oh no.
Everyone's like, what is this little lizard guy talking about?
We could use some reinforcements.
Fourth wall breaking lizardman is pretty good. Hey, look.
And then begins
the fight. Props to the toy photography team. I don't know what their name is.
This is rad. The toy photography team?
Yeah.
What would you call that?
I don't know, but their photos in this, I like this. The setups that they've done. It looks cool. This is good. I think this is a part of Warhammer we never talk about in like the culture, which is sometimes it's just cool to set your guys up on a thing. Yeah. And then just have them look neat and be like, yeah, these guys look cool. They look like they're about to run down this hill and attack these people. So,
I mean, they do the big, huge dioramas at like Warhammer World, things like that.
Exactly.
So it's like it's cool to see little dioramas and stuff, and that's what they're doing here.
That's basically what they're doing. So, cometh foulness. That's what it says on the top of the page.
Mr. Gelgus Pust.
Yeah,
is the leader.
Nurgle
I believe Nurgle. Yeah, it's got to have Pust, Maggot. What else is going in there?
Gurp or something.
Ooh, Gurp.
Yeah.
It's good.
Blorp. It has to sound like you are throwing up in your mouth while trying to say a word, and you've stopped the word just in time to catch the throw up, but it's there.
It is there.
So you're like, hey, good blurp. That's a Nurgle name.
I almost had to burp, and I didn't know if I wanted to try to actually say something with that burp, and then I was like, I've just become this exact thing.
I've just become Nurgle.
I become Nurgle. So Pust is introduced.
Hey, Pust or bust, am I right? Come on. Come on, fellas. Come on. Right, fellas. Right. I don't know what that was.
I just read Pestigores, too, so I'm imagining them doing the, like, home, and, they're just a bunch of Pestigores.
Pestigore frat bros.
Oh, no. Pestigore bros. So they come in. They have a little skirmish. And then sort of Grunhorn's homies flee.
Yeah. Essentially, the city's people are, as always in every narrative, completely outclassed and unprepared. There's never a story, unless there's a main character there, where they seem like they're going to do okay.
Right. That's a tough spot to be. And then this is the cool part to me.
Yeah, so they got to run away from Nurgle.
They do?
Well, what is disease? What's the opposite of life and disease and growth? I'm throwing that to you.
Oh, it's being thrown to me? I was like looking down at the thing. Death.
That's good to be asked a question on a podcast and you know the answer, but you just don't answer. You're just like, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. You just keep nodding.
Just keep nodding.
No.
Welcome to the Nodcast.
The Nodcast.
Oh, all nodding all the time.
Can you hear that? Yeah.
The fact that we did nod, even though we know it's not making noises. Anyway, so they got to run away from Pust. Where do they go?
And they flee into some of the undead. So we got Soulblight.
Yeah, so they go into some a Barrow Lord area.
And this is the Amelodum, the flooded kingdom.
Yeah. Which I'm sad that they don't have a bunch of like waterlogged, kit bashed skeletons and stuff. Like that would look cool. Like dragging themselves out of seaweed and stuff like that.
See, that's really fun. I imagine if you're really aspiring, that's something you could make happen.
Well, one of the rumors is that could be an army that's happening soon.
Oh, really?
It's probably not.
Oh, that's
okay.
We're
could
coming back
be because it's in Total War.
Oh,
and even though
most
things in that game aren't a 1-to-1 to this game, for some reason people still think it. Anyway.
Well, he ends up talking with. I was trying to find the White Lord. I was trying to find the White Lord's name.
Hey, what's up, White King? Hey. Oh yeah, I don't like that either. That's not
nope.
good.
But But he makes a deal. They shake hands.
Yeah.
And so the Soulblight here are going to help them get through the like the tunnels.
Yeah, because basically they're like, hey, we ran away from Nurgle. Also, we're bad at surviving, and now we're in a cave.
Yep.
This is the worst place to be.
Yeah.
Maybe these nice skeletons will help us.
Of course. And so they're talking with them. They shake hands,
Yeah.
and then they're going to pass through the tunnels together. As all things, they're totally going to help the whole way through. This is all going to go incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's going to be something down there in the tunnels for them to fight. And this is where we run into the Gits, the subterranean menace, according to this wonderful little title here.
Yeah.
That's fun. Which is painted super awesome.
Yeah.
We mentioned that earlier, and I'm like, this paint scheme they have on the Gits in the book here is awesome.
The albino squig with the red stripe on top. That's
Cool.
such a good look. I wouldn't want to do it personally. Like, I wouldn't want to have to paint that many guys that way.
That's rough. Yeah.
But man, it's so good looking.
Yeah, this is the Jaws of Mork. The squig riding hooligans, grot hooligans.
Yes.
I was trying to read more proper nouns, but no.
They're all hooligans. So
They are.
That does kind of make sense.
And so they have a little brawl.
Yeah, because they're basically like, hey, you're walking through my living room. What the heck? We live down here.
Whoops.
Fun fact, if you're listening and you don't know, Gits, their biggest reason for attacking people is that they don't know how to make a glass. So they want bottles to put potions and stuff in so they can get very high off of them.
Yeah.
So with no glass-making technology, they attack people to try to steal glass jars, specifically.
Oh, just that? That's
in the Broken Realms
plan?
thing.
Okay.
There's a whole scene where they break into a giant glass jar factory, essentially. So in this epic story of this city being attacked and burned by the forces of chaos, there's a side story where a bunch of Gits try to do a heist to steal butter jars.
Oh,
and it's so
nice.
good. And they get attacked by fire slayers, and it's like this horrible brawl where I don't think either of them realize that they're fighting over jars. And people are dying left and right.
Oh no, but it's
preserved jars.
All about the jars.
It's all about that jars. So what are these guys? What's going on with these guys?
Well, yeah. So they have a bit of a fight, and then I believe this is where
I think that's just every Warhammer book.
They
have a bit of a fight.
Right, but this is where they the Whites decide to kind of bail. Right.
Yeah, they're just like, we're done.
They just kind of peace out, and they leave the our buddy Grunhorn and his homies here a bit worse for wear, and so they get through.
Yes,
they get through.
Dwindling numbers, but they make it through the caves.
Yeah, it's just every city's experience, just dwindling numbers.
I mean, so yeah, at this point you've had, and this isn't even a Dawnbringer crusade per se, so it's not like well equipped,
right?
With tons of stuff. Like Dawnbringer crusades can lose half their people and still be successful because they plan on losing half their people. This one was like, this is just your old normal standard crusade, go figure this out. So he doesn't have any of those resources. But what he does have is some sweet cover art.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. This is very cool. He's riding atop his steed. I've moved on to the next page here where we're sort of covering the battle at the mill.
Yes.
So where he runs back into Pust and his nasty. How many times am I gonna say nasty? I was looking for another adjective, and
I don't know where you're
I was
going.
looking for something to say.
Nasty boys.
He's a nasty boy. Yeah.
His wet lads. It's moist marauders.
Moist marauders
That's
is
good,
really good. But yeah, so he's fighting along a blight drone.
Are you asking me if
I'm
that's what that is?
asking
Yes,
you.
that's what
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, a Blight Lord is a Blight King on a drone.
Okay.
And if he's off the drone, he's a Blight King.
Wonderful that there's that distinction for
if he gets a bug, he changes his name.
Okay.
Boy, that we'll get into the Nurgle book. They kind of took things and then swapped what they were name-wise to make it silly.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do the Nurgle book next. That'd be a good one.
Okay.
We have like 3 books that are basically Zack explains book to someone who has to sit here. So I'm trying to like space those out a little bit. Maybe we'll have another book in a couple of weeks we'll talk about.
I'm getting looks.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, he's fighting atop his steed, and we have this big fight at the mill.
Yes.
Which is, of course, a lot of back and forth.
And corrupting a mill is good for Nurgle because it gets in the water and it's easy to, spread disease and filth. And that's kind of the goal of Pust, is just to basically corrupt everything. Look at the custom scenery and stuff though here.
This is awesome.
Like, I like that they took the little 3-pronged thing off of a feculent normal and stuck it on the side of that popsicle stick house. Oh, yeah. No, that's a modified, what?
You have to know that, so this is obviously, we have the book out in front of us
this
here.
is terrible audio.
And so,
For the
right.
people at home.
It's already, right, so he's telling me about a thing, and I'm pointing to it at the table, but then part of me was like, this is behind a building. He can't see it, but it's on a 2D plane right here. But I'm like, he can't see it.
I don't have line of sight to that.
I'm like, no, he can't see this.
Ryan, a piece of paper is visible from many
No.
angles. You can look at it from. I'm flying. I can see this whole battlefield.
No, you're over there. It's right. It's behind the building. But
It's
been
a long day.
That was incredibly stupid. That was awesome.
That was good times. I'm glad we captured that on film.
That's gotta be so great to be as like a listener. I'm trying to convey what just happened. It's like, yes.
Yeah, well, they're putting this on while they do laundry and clean their house anyways. So.
Oh, jeez.
Actually, I mean, here's your question. People that listen to this show, because you're out there. I know.
They're
because
there.
We get hits. What are you doing when you listen to this show? That's my question for everybody. Comment on one of our Instagram posts. Find a random one. I don't care. It'll give me the notification. And comment on it and tell us what you're doing when you listen to the show. I'm curious, because, like, when I put on Warhammer podcasts, I am listening while I do Warhammer stuff.
Sure.
Or driving, because sometimes I just drive.
Sure.
But then, like, are other people doing it that way? Are you just listening to us? Is anybody in the bathtub right now? Just got the wine glass in one hand?
Yeah.
Like a little plate of cheese, and they're just listening to us? That's cool.
I don't know why I imagine somebody with an orange in the bath, like, and taking a shower. Just like earbud in. It's like waterproof
earbud. Our fans
earbud.
are also alcoholics, so that could be the case.
I don't know why. I don't know why that was my first thought. Someone's just taking a bite. Not even peeling the orange in any way. Just taking a bite out of an orange.
Tell us. Tag us on
rip it
Instagram
into
if
it,
you're the
please,
one
yeah.
fan right now in the shower, just raw dogging an orange while you listen to this show.
I hope
And
that
I mean that in any iteration of that phrasing. Like, let us know. We're here for you rancid monsters out
Yeah.
there.
Oh, no. It's that one guy just like, damn. Unlikes. Like,
Or is he like, I feel seen?
right.
r/Reddit/ shower orange thoughts. Hey guys, I
Shower
found a
orange
community
thoughts.
for us.
We just started a subreddit. I guess
We
that's
should go
the
in
term,
there, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the official Atlanta Warhammer subreddit.
That's
is
so
Orange
convoluted.
shower thoughts.
That's great though.
Yeah. No one will ever know.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
And that's
Not
the
at
good
all.
thing about doing a media outlet like this is making sure that nobody knows how to find it and it's
Yeah.
not easy to get to.
That's
the
perfect.
success. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why all my other shows do so well.
Mm.
Like. No, I was waiting for any of the other shows we did.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so what about this
No,
guy? He's fighting some guys, the last gasp. So, oh no, after the Squig fight, now Nurgle is there, and it's sure looking rough for old Gondor. I forgot his name already.
Yeah.
Grindor. Grinder. It's looking bad for Grinder.
Yeah,
Republican National Convention in town and it's shutting it down.
That would be it. Yeah.
Did you see? Some congressman gave some presentation recently, and he was writing down like sites that could be used for like trafficking, and he wrote down Tinder, but he spelled it without the e at the end.
Oh, of course.
And everyone was like,
"That's just
What?
Curious.
Yeah. What about that, Mr. Guy?
rather odd that you would do such a
Yes,
thing, isn't
yes.
it? Let's speak on this.
If you're over 21, I'll explain that joke to you in person.
No, cool. Yeah. Oh no.
So when you get
The
old enough,
thought
I'll
of-
tell
yeah.
you.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
2 more years, buddy.
Obligatory
Get there.
young person joke. But yeah, of course, it's a bit of a brawl. It's not looking great for the home team if you're a cities person. And then, of course, the Soul Blight. Huh.
Like Han Solo.
Yes.
Because it's Star Wars, because he shows up right at the end and saves Luke from
Yeah.
Darth Vader. So
What's
they
Star
show
Wars?
up. So it's this old movie.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it's got the guy that played Captain Picard in it.
Oh, it's a furry.
Yeah,
There's a furry,
it's a
right?
furry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Star Wars is a furry. That's our T-shirt.
okay.
Star Wars is a furry?
ATL War.
Question mark? On the back, ATL War. .com, but it's over where the tramp stamp.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can we do T-shirts, but the branding is where the tramp stamp would be? Would you guys buy those
That's it.
for a
Comment as
reasonable
well.
price?
for a reasonable price.
Yeah,
That's kind of
I
awesome.
don't need to make money off of them, so I can just sell them the cost it costs to make them. Yeah.
That'd be kind of awesome.
Okay, all right. Temporary
Yeah.
tattoos and tramp stamp branded T-shirts. We're on it.
Temporary
This is the year
tattoos.
of terrible marketing ideas where we lose money on promotional stuff.
That's kind of great.
Let's do it. Let's
That's
go.
kinda great.
What else? What other nonsense do you guys want our logo on? Underwear? We've talked about it. We've threatened it.
Show us your underwear.
No. Podcast is shut down. If you are an of-age person, you may show us your underwear in person with consent. That's the ATL War underwear rules. If they're interesting. I don't want to see any boring ones. If you've approached me, he is silent laughing so hard off of the microphone that whole time.
This is, I'm just like, this is my Blighted Wilds edition underwear. It's like,
oh man, if you theme your underwear at a tournament to your faction, because I know we've done costumes and stuff. Like,
no.
we have a pretty cool community for doing like costumes and themes.
Yeah.
Themed dress up your underwear. Okay. Episode idea. What faction design each faction's underwear? I immediately thought of daughters, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
It's just blurred.
It's just what they've got on.
It's You
think Nurgle's rocking like dirty whitey tighties or just like a thong? Something about a thong seems very Nurgle to me, and I don't know why. Because you feel like Slaanesh, but Slaanesh has like the body confidence of wearing that kind of stuff and like, look at my abs and stuff. Ooh. Yeah. Nurgle has the body confidence of the guy at the beach that shouldn't be wearing a thong.
Hey, you're right.
Is.
You are right. It's a speedo.
I'm that guy at the beach. You're all welcome. All your children are traumatized now. Yeah. You don't want to do some sit-ups. Otherwise, this is you, little guy. And then I just go into the ocean and never come back.
Yeah. Just disappear. Yeah.
Dream goals, right?
Nurgle speedo. That's a great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nurgle Keeny. I don't know. We'll think of something.
Okay.
We'll get on there. Yeah.
Brainstorming.
We'll brainstorm some underwear. So so then the Soul Blights show up.
The Soul Blights show up. They help save the day.
In the head.
Yeah.
Well, not Nurgle, but his friends.
No. Yeah. But there's a price to be paid.
Let's punch the table. But that's not the microphone stand, so it doesn't count.
We're still good there. But no, so there is a price to be paid.
Yes. Well, he did make that deal with the dead.
He did. So he's going to pay for that. I think the White Lord decides to give him a little shank,
Well, so
right,
he gets stabbed by and the Nurgle guy stab each other essentially.
Yes.
And then the Blight King is like, okay, well, you got the one out, but you. So the main thing is throughout this story, this guy has been infected, and he's been kind of fighting it off while holding it back. So the White King's thing
missed such an important detail.
That's kind of why he made the whole deal with the White King, because he was like, well, I'm going to die horribly, and my soul will go to Nurgle or be eaten by this disease. Who even knows? Death is an inevitable, and Nagash is there, but you can see him, and he has cities, and it is a society, kind of. Maybe that's better than Nurgle, Yeah. It's that the thing that they all have to do in this world, which is like, well, all of these are terrible.
Pick the least terrible option.
The worst terrible. The least terrible. I'll pick the
worst terrible.
I mean, I guess you could.
What would be the worst terrible in this instance?
Oh, man. What is the worst
You get put in the soup? You become part of the soup? I feel like there's probably worse.
I might like it, yeah.
Yeah, it could be warm.
I feel like worse would be like living your life in devotion to Tzeentch, and then he turns you into a sandwich. Because at the point in time, that's what he needed.
Sentient sandwich? That would suck, yeah.
Yeah, but then that's it. You're just a sandwich for the rest of time. You're immortal, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of his plan, yeah. Like, I feel like that's going to be worse than, I'm dead and corn makes me fight every day. Like, eventually you're going to get a little jacked. It's good exercise.
It is good exercise, yeah.
You don't see a lot of fat corn guys, except for that. There was one with the whip. That was the only fat one. Anyway, so then there's a fight, and then some Nurgle guys get punched.
And then we have a wonderful little the post-credits scene.
There is. It's a post-credits scene. It 100% is. Because we get the scene of the soldier guy doing the last handoff, and he's like, oh, well, tell your wife I love her. And then,
right.
Then the skeleton's like, here's your 2 swords.
Whoa.
He's like, these are for killing monsters. But now the monsters are man because I've become a monster.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's the story. And then the other guy's like, I'm trying to think of what Pust's voice would sound like. You gotta have like a mouthful of stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Like
yeah.
you need to be like, "Oh, oh," like it needs to be
Yeah.
the voice of Edgar from Men in Black.
Which one's Edgar?
The bug in the suit.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, oh, honey, more sugar. Oh, sugar. Like, that's how I imagine that guy sounds.
That's a pretty good, yeah, I could see that.
And he's laying there dying, and then all of a sudden there's a darkness, and a main character approaches, and it's old Uncle Festus.
Uncle Festus.
Who's been around since Warhammer Fantasy and used to have a hilarious rule where he would reduce the save by 1 permanently of a model that he could. So you would
permanently?
Yeah.
How does that work?
In the game, it's just -1 save forever. Your save characteristic would go down.
Okay.
Or up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Worsen. Yeah.
Worsen, yes.
So you would hide him behind a Great Unclean One because he was on a tiny little 27 mil base, and you would cast the spell, and then you would just keep him behind the Great Unclean One, casting it in various directions.
This is the thing. I remember you telling me about this.
It was a lot of fun.
Thing.
It was like, was it great? No, but it was really funny to hit somebody's like, I don't know, big Archeon or something, and be like, you're -1 save for the rest of the game now.
Boop.
Which means that Rind will now start stacking on that too.
Oh,
so.
I imagined like permanently, like you were playing a campaign, it's just like boom, 5-up save, you suck. Like that could just
kind of an
suck
interesting
so
thing.
bad. Yeah.
That would be pretty bad.
Unfortunate to be on the receiving end, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's we could come up with something like that. Do like a little fun narrative thing where it's like super severe.
I think
a real narrative set in the Age of Sigmar where every player loses by the first turn unless you are chaos or destruction.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
much.
It. And the chaos and destruction just bash their heads against each other. And that's basically it.
That's it.
So yeah, Festus shows up, and he's like, oh, "I've got plans for you," and then he takes the main character guy away, and I guess he's got plans for him. We'll probably never see that guy again. Who knows? Nope. But we saw Festus, and he was a new model. So and it almost feels like they forgot that they had a Festus model.
So they had to
also because if you notice
in
the story, he's not on his giant slug. Or
right, because that's right.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think they just knew Festus was going to be a model, and probably when this book was being written, it was just like, have him show up, but he can't do anything, because boy, that Festus over there sure is Festusing until we figure out what he's going to be doing in the storyline.
It's tough to figure out. It's tough to get it together.
Yeah, how do you move the needle on something that everyone will either be mad that you did or mad that you didn't? There's no good way to do this.
There's no great way of doing it. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's really tough.
That's why I try
not
not to
solution.
be too mean to the James Workshop team.
No.
On some stuff. Some stuff, though.
Not on, like, yeah, you could give a lot of grace on the writing stuff. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to try and, like you said, you've got how many armies trying to weave into the same space.
What was it you said, too, where you were like, Age of Sigmar writers are really fluffy?
They are.
Because
there's a lot of extra verbiage. Because you're right. How are you going to describe sweeping with your sword savagely across the heads of... Yeah. It's going to be difficult to describe in any way.
Otherwise, you're stuck with... Philgore raised his axe and swung it down. It hit a guy. That guy was dead now. He raised his axe again. He rolled a 5.
Oops.
Didn't hit.
No.
So, that's
like, pretty much it.
How do you make that interesting? You have to have things like... I remember one of my favorite ones. This is like a weird side story, but I remember this forever. In an old Star Wars book, they were talking about a gunfight, and it was like, the line was like, the guy had a gun. It wasn't a gunfight. It was like a conversation between criminals, and one person, the line was like, his pistol spoke and the conversation was silent. And I thought, God dang, that is a cool sentence.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool. That tells you exactly what happened.
Yep.
It was shot, and then it all went quiet. And I was like, that's good writing. That stuck with me forever.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know what book that was from. Somebody at home is being like, oh, Tales from the Bounty Hunters. That's the IG-88 story or something. And like,
that would be
sure.
An awesome thing to remember,
if you
right?
do,
if that was somebody else's, like, whoa, this was a cool...
Oh, man, tell me that. You're my soulmate. If somebody's out there, we got to be friends now. You got to be on the show. We found the matching Tenacious D tattoo with someone else who remembers that sentence. So that's the end of this story, eh?
Gay?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much brings it together. Like you said, it's guy runs into faction 1 and then runs into faction 2. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like going through the line of bringing folks in. But no, I think it's cool to see, like, I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting, like, making that pact with death as, like you said, sort of the, like, antithesis. I was trying to, like, look for a word, to the rot,
Yeah. Well,
So
and
it's
that
kinda cool.
Nurgle and Nagash are hated foes because you can't grow disease on bone, like
No.
just completely sterile, and that's what Nagash wants is no life. And
Mm-hmm.
Nurgle wants an abundance of life, just not in a way that benefits
Right.
the people that are currently living there. But
Mm.
it's not an evil thing. Well, I mean, it's arguably it's not great, but he's not doing it because he's like, I want to rule. It's more like everyone enjoy bugs.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah, which I mean, enjoy
valid.
bugs.
Yeah, right. Enjoy
Bugs are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
All over.
the story from this. It
Mhm.
isn't. It's not a lot, like you said. It's kind
Yeah.
of guy walks from point A to point B and fights some friends along the way. You can almost see the map in the video game with the little dots connecting the circles, and it's like,
Yeah.
here's the first fight, here's the second one, here's the third one. But that's it also feels like this one is, like we were saying, this is what your guys could be doing during this campaign, whereas the older books were more like, this is what the story is.
Right. And I feel like sort of coming back around to that question, do you feel like if your army is not a part of like the big grand narrative, where it's like you had said, like with like Marathi Kane or like the Crone, like situations where it's like, we were fighting in Anvilgard,
Yes.
right? Like a situation like that. If you're not a part of that grand narrative, do you feel like completely left out? Do you think it's cool to like, oh, this story is like happening, this is awesome, like maybe I'm not directly participating in it, but like it's cool to see this? Or is it more interesting to have stuff like this where it's like Blighted Wilds? It's a smaller side story. You can kind of have your own personal little things sort of happen in the realm of life here, in relation to Nurgle's rot taking over in this region. Like, is that more? Is that cool? Like, do we like the big grand narrative? Because I feel like for me, I think the grand narrative is kind of cool. Like just happening, even if you're not fully a part of it.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. It's kind of cool to feel the needle getting pushed, as you were saying.
Well, so here's the way I would think of it. If they didn't push stuff in the books that way, where would they push storyline changes? Because editions are a little too far apart.
Yeah.
And a little too jarring if every couple of years they're like, brand new storylines are here and it's all different than last time. So they kind of have to do stuff like this and like the last one, the coast one, to sort of move the story along. But yeah, then you can't also have, not everything can be a Broken Realms where you have your main character showing up and doing a lot of stuff. And I think that's what made that feel like such a stellar thing.
Okay.
Was because every book was like, oh, and a new group is here. And same thing with the previous one that I cannot remember the name of that series. Because you had, I know.
Okay, yeah.
But it had like
I'm not
Abraxia in it and a couple other people. I think, no, Bellicor was in Broken Realms. I don't know.
This sounds
I have all these
familiar.
books. I'll have to look them up and
Okay.
figure it out. But well, that's kind of an example of like, well, they did sort of blend together at the end because that's just the story of Age of Sigmar now is in these books. We're not going to hear about Pust ever again.
No.
Despite even getting an end sequence, we're done with that guy. He's
Right.
We might get the thing where he is introduced in the sidebar of another book and is like, oh, it's that guy, and he runs around. Or my favorite thing was in Broken Realms. I think it was Broken Realms. One of them, they introduced a named character in one book, and then like the third book had him be horribly murdered. And it was like,
Kind of, yeah.
oh, that was kind of funny. Just this
Yeah.
little Gitz guy shows up, has a name, walks around, gets smushed. Cool. Guess somebody had to die. But in terms of like moving the story forward, yeah, this doesn't move the needle, but it does give you, when we go into the rule stuff after a break, it gives you a lot to work on for building your own campaigns and stuff. So maybe that's kind of the direction. I went out because I've gotten lucky. The last couple of big narrative switches have been about armies I already had.
Cool.
Like, I was literally playing Anvilgard and had an Anvilgard army and Stormcast from Anvilgard.
Right.
So for me, that was like, oh, this one's for me. And then the last one ended with, like, Nagash fighting Teclis. Well, I have Ossiarch, and I have Nagash, and I play him in there. So, like, it felt like I had an option. But yeah, if you had nothing to do in there, it would feel weird. Yeah. Because the maps are kind of like, here's Nagash, and here's Teclis, and this is their fight. But if you want to recreate something like it and you don't have any of this stuff, substitute all of this. But at that point, you're not really playing the narrative. You're just playing a cool battle plan.
Yeah. That's a tough... That is
or does
a
it
tough...
matter?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Like,
tell us... You're all playing toys your way.
Yeah, like, tell us at home. Do you care what the story is? Or are you the kind of person that's like, just play some games and have a good time? Or are you someone who the story changes like this is going to inspire you?
Right.
To, like, make a specific thing. Do you think anybody out there is making characters out of these guys? Because they hell, they showed us what they looked like kit bash.
They really did. I would imagine so. I'd imagine someone would probably kit bash the leaders and like, you know, create like a thing, and you know, like they might play through it. I imagine there's people that play through this like it's like we have to play this like, you know, word for word, essentially. Like we have to like go through this and see how this goes, because like I've considered that in situations before, but I do think it is always more interesting to like be inspired by this and then create your own sort of narrative situation where it's like you're kind of going through it. I think that's cool.
You want to know something that's interesting, and here's a teaser before we go to break real fast. The battle plans and stuff in this book are not what happens in the main story. That is a weird twist, because they follow a similar idea, but it's not recreating the battles that these guys had. Whereas previous books were like, hey, here's this exact battle. So I think I've kind of looked at it and said, here's a little side story, and then here's how to kind of do a similar thing. Some themes are the same, but for instance, we played that game about destroying the terrain piece in the middle. That's not in the book. There's nothing really like that. But that's the first map, or one of the first two you can pick. So it's kind of interesting that they've done that. But we'll go over all that in a second, because we probably need to take a quick break here and, you know, learn how to read.
Yeah. Oops.
So, whoops. We'll be back in a couple of years.
But
starting your own podcast is easier than you think with Blueberry Podcasting, the official home of Atlanta Warhammer. Not only do they make uploading and hosting audio files a breeze, they also feature full WordPress integration, so you can easily share your podcast with the world. All Blueberry podcasts are optimized for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and about 100 other podcast services. They even have a free tech support and downloads, and with no contract, you can cancel anytime. To get started today, visit blueberry.com. That's BLUBRRY.com. While you're there, use the code ATLWAR to get 1 month of premium hosting totally free. Once again, that's promo code ATLWAR at blueberry.com. Get your voice heard today.
But hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've thrown up before.
Once or twice.
Yeah, everybody. So everybody has thrown up before. Yeah. Can you remember the last time you threw up? This is a funny question to ask people. A lot of times people cannot remember it. I know mine.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I'm trying to remember if there was something more recent than that, because that was 8 months ago. Something like that. It was like an absurd amount of months ago.
It's not that absurd. There's 12 in a year.
Well, that's why.
Why is 8 absurd? Hold on. Why is 8 an absurd amount of months?
I guess
show your work. What does that even mean?
I'm just like
No, go on.
I don't actually know. I really.
So 7 is not absurd.
No, it's not. No, 7 is a completely reasonable amount of months to have thrown up, a long time ago.
Yes. 8? Well, that means. Are you saying that means you need to throw up now because you've gone too long since you threw up?
That's why I'm trying to backtrack my logic there, and I'm like, that doesn't really make sense at all. I'm like, that's a pretty. Like, I don't. How often are you throwing up? We'll throw the ball back.
I'm not a lot. Like, it's not for fun. But mine's more recent because I had that Chinese food that I'm pretty sure had beef stock and not veggie stock. Because that definitely was a all access. Every port is open. Day for me. Context for listeners: I've been a vegetarian since I was 18. So getting a bunch of beef broth in food was not good for me. I felt a lot lighter though. Like there was a moment where like
losing so much liquid.
There was a moment like after a bathroom visit 100 in a row where I walked out of the bathroom and it's like the sunlight came through the window perfectly and I could hear birds and all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's gone. I feel better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I was trying to say is that thing where you burp, but then a little piece of food comes up. It's like
it's not just the flavor.
Like if you took a bite and then like you burp, but then a little piece of food was down there, but then like it like rides the bubble up. You ever had that happen?
I have never had that. I've gone to Flavortown before, and like I've gotten a little bit of a flashback, but like I've never had like debris.
Yeah, I've done the purpose, and I imagine it's like in the little bubble traveling up my esophagus.
Osmosis Jones is supposed to catch that, man. He's got to get there.
No, isn't that the album with Kid Rock on it?
No, I was thinking that's stupid. Like it's not stupid. I don't know
what.
I just had like 3 levels of asides in my head of like, and it was like a little animation that we watched in class in like elementary school.
It was a movie. Jones? Yeah, it was a whole movie.
Yeah. Why did I say little animation? Where am I today?
What's going on? What is happening?
Once
So
again,
you've never
silent
done like the
laughing.
catapult?
No!
It's always like it's like a little piece of like fruit or something. It's always that. Like it's not big. It's not like a whole like French fry. Be like if I'm eating
You were mixing berries and fries?
grapes
That's
and stuff. I don't know. When I'm out grazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta bring him back in from outside. Come on, gotta go back in.
Speaking about bringing us back in,
Oh, yeah.
so let's talk
Hey,
about the
that's a
Path to
hell of a
Glory
segue.
rules.
Yeah.
That's all it. It's a Nurgle episode, baby. Let's talk about. So we talked about the story. Oh, I didn't realize this. I like the little spooky backlit guys
Yeah.
emerging.
And I can see them because my line of sight. I'm getting the building.
You
here.
got line of
So,
sight, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the rules a little bit. And we're not going to talk about Path to Glory, the rules to Path to Glory, because that is a whole other section. Go look it up. It's in your rulebook. If you have Battle Tomes, you don't have the rules, but I think they're free on the app. I'm just where I'm going to put my side note asterisks of, guys, please make the app able to use Path to Glory rosters. It's so... I get that this is a very pen and papery type of thing, and I get that like this one has new rules that might be hard to code in. That's fine. Just give us the chance to do a roster where I can make a custom unit.
Yeah.
Because I can't... There's no Stormcast unit that's 250 points. So I have to find one that's either over or below
Okay.
to put in the list, but then that person can't have the people in their regiment that my leader can, so I end up just doing it on paper. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you're playing Path to Glory, you're probably used to that, but like it is a little silly that the app can't just do an unstructured list. So Path to Glory, blah, 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 you pick your faction, all that kind of stuff. You start with 1,000 points. You gain guys, and they all hang out at your camp, and you deploy certain ones to missions, and then sometimes they come back, and sometimes they don't. In most leagues, you have scars and things like that that over time degrade your guys. I think we said that we were going to play with them, but this league actually,
yeah,
this league is like, don't worry about it. But we've decided to hurt our little people.
It adds flavor, you know.
Yeah.
It adds more narrative to like what's going on with your guys. So I think it's cool.
I think it's neat. So we'll get into this a little bit, but as the faction I've chosen, dying and coming back flawed is exactly what they do. So of course I want that system to be part of it. So a lot of this stuff is pretty much the standard Path to Glory stuff, but there's a couple of things that are cool about this edition that go basically on top of your standard Path to Glory rules that make this a little more different. So one of the cool things you can do, if you didn't know this, the real cool thing about Path to Glory is when you add a regiment, you pick a hero from the same Grand Alliance as your first hero, and then you fill out people that can be in the same faction as that hero. So what that means is not only can you ally in like cities or, you know, Ideneth or something with your Stormcast if you wanted to, it also doesn't say that person has to be able to lead that character.
Right.
You just have to have a general. So you can have a character and then units that it couldn't lead in the normal game underneath it. So like you don't have to have a Cav hero to bring Cav from another faction because it just sort of erases all that. So that's kind of neat, you know.
We appreciate
you can build a really fluffy, and I intend to, a really fluffy bad army. That's basically a coalition of like, I guess I could try to get to 4.
Oh, okay.
That'd be pretty good. Because I would have Stormcasts, cities, Fire Slayers. I don't know what the 4th would be. Good order 4th army to bring in.
What do you have?
No,
I'm trying to think of other stuff. Yeah, I guess, like, what do you got?
What do I have is like 30,000 points of Stormcast and cities.
Right.
And then exactly 2,000 points of Fire Slayers. And that's about it. I can't think
of the 4th,
I don't have any of the other order stuff that I can think of because don't care about Sylvaneth. Don't have Ideneth, KO. Don't have Daughters.
You don't have KO?
No, Josh has KO.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, and by the way, Josh is fine. He's not on this episode, but he's fine. Don't worry about him. And certainly don't try to find out where he is. Like, don't do that. Do not ask questions. He's fine. Don't worry about it. There's no other order armies that really butter my biscuits. So
that's fair.
Ideneth would be the one maybe. But I also painted a whole Ideneth army and then gave it away, and then I think I painted some of Josh's actually too. So it's kind of the thing of like, do I want to do it? Anyway, that's cool stuff you can do in Path to Glory.
Boom.
The cool things that this book adds, it adds a couple of things. Every book will have abilities that you can do that are just in this campaign.
Right.
And that kind of stuff. Well, this one also has some cool stuff that's like, you can bring over previous campaigns, and so you have the trophies from there. So you can play this right after your last campaign and stay scaled up and like keep going from that level.
Oh, wait. Okay,
so
cool.
if you have like a huge army, you can bring your huge army over and then like build it like that. The other thing is that there's a cool thing on page 34, which is your battle plan determination, which is basically like, depending on what you win.
The chart?
Yeah,
here,
where
I'm
you
seeing
go. Yeah.
part of it.
You can't see because you don't have line of sight on it. Because
Yeah,
of
no,
this,
no,
this,
not right now. Not right
this
now.
2-inch tall ruin here actually blocks line of sight.
Completely.
Yeah, but you can move through it.
Yes.
Yes, but
Yes.
you can't end next to it.
Nope.
Yeah. That feels like a 40K rule, actually.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty close. We're getting there. Yeah. Some slight verbiage.
So, yeah, that's what separates this one is you are either corrupting or purifying stuff. That's your whole thing you're doing. That's your shtick, because that's what you're doing, basically. That's what Nurgle wants, is to make everything shticky, and then you're trying to unshtick it. So, yeah, and there's some, like, command abilities and stuff. That's not the important part. The important part is, and I don't know what page it is. Here we go. So, on page 40 moving forward, the cool thing about this, when you beat an opponent, you get like a one-time use ability that you get to use in your next game. So, like, for instance, you and Harrison got the, that doesn't count. That was the cord.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like it even got picked up.
Convenient.
Yeah. I can edit this, too, so I can just go and... I'm going to edit you just hitting the microphone constantly. Now, can I get you to say the words, my name Ryan, me stupid, as a clean take? Can I?
My stupid me Ryan.
Very good. Perfect.
Awesome. Sweet.
Just that followed by microphone noises. Dung, dung. Me stupid Ryan. Dung, dung. This podcast is good. It's a good show. If we win an award one day,
that'd be weird.
That would be cool. What can we get? Guys, nominate us for stuff.
Ooh.
Put us into categories we shouldn't be. If you,
that'd be so good.
If you've got like a charity event for children, put us up there. Let's go. We'll donate money to something. I don't know. Yeah. We'll throw $20 at a charity for the chance to be given an award.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to get the podcast listed under the listed appropriate podcasts for the VA. You know? Yeah, it's not.
No.
Apparently, we're bad for veterans.
Oh, no.
Which is funny, because I know, like, 10 veterans off the top of my head to listen to this show. So it's pretty funny. The VA has said that we're dangerous.
Good.
We can ruin mental health. Yeah. Oh, they're actually giving people PTSD.
Oh, no.
So, cool thing one is you get a little thing. So, like, you guys beat me in Forest Fortress, for instance. So, you would have you get a garrison thing, which is basically you get to pick a terrain feature and add 1 to save rolls while units are wholly within 3 inches of a terrain feature. So, it gives you like a little boost you can use in the next game that you won from the previous game.
Cool.
That's kind of neat. I like that the one-time use things, because you're still growing your army and buying artifacts and troops and stuff, but like that feels like something that'd be cool to make a little card, and then like have it, and then you can like spend it basically when you use that thing.
Okay, yeah.
The other thing that's cool, and we got to get all the way through here because you got the scars and then you got the maps and stuff, and the maps are pretty neat. I like Cursed Colonel because
Cursed Colonel, yeah.
It's Cursed Colonel.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It's hard to say, and I like that.
Yeah.
Also, battle plan, a dense and choking maze.
Mage? Oh,
a dense and choking maze.
That was, yeah.
Boy, he thick and he can't breathe. A dense and choking maze is the name of a Day to Remember song. It's not maybe, but it might be.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. This sounds like either that or this is a Screamo band.
Yes, yeah, okay.
You could just hear like, hey, what's up, Warped Tour? We are a dense and choking maze. Yeah.
And just roll into it. I could see, yep.
Yeah.
It's a very drawn-out title. So.
Yeah, well, not as much as Escort to the Wellspring Grove. I forgot to...
Escort to the... Yeah.
Be it purity or putrescence.
Oh, yep. There's the putrid line of words.
Oh, yeah, the Call of Sacrifice. That's a metal band.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a magic card.
Creeping Rootstocks? What kind of band is that? Yeah.
Folky? It's almost got like a weird,
like folkcore?
Yeah, it's like a weird, it's getting...
Yeah, it's got like a banjo, but also they do breakdowns.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So the other... 2 other things about this. It's got new paths for it. Paths are things you assign to your hero, your anvil, or otherwise, and then as they level up, it adds more abilities to them.
Oh, they don't have to be anvil heroes for that.
I don't believe so. Now I'm questioning.
Sorry.
No! I think it's just a hero. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just... Because if you don't have anvil if you don't have a book, you wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to access it. So then that would just cut off the whole
It'd be
story.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you can but keep that in mind because the other page are non-hero units. So for the first time now, you can take a unit and give that unit benefits and a path to glory. So if you don't have a book and you don't have a hero that you feel like you really want to be putting this time in, you can make a unit. So you could have like, let's say if you had a unit of shadowy assassins of some kind, you could like push them through one of these paths here and then gain abilities with that unit. So eventually you build up like a supercharged unit situation. Or as I like to call it, too many rules.
True. Honestly, yeah.
Use a War Scroll builder, guys, trust me. Because otherwise you will forget to do half of the stuff your guys can do.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of it, they will have gained 4 more abilities. And if it's an Anvil hero, you've already added on 4 or 5 from creation.
Yep.
So just double check that stuff. So that's pretty cool. The fact that you can do that to regiments is neat.
That's pretty awesome. I do like the idea of trying to like superpower a unit.
Yeah.
Or not a hero. Yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of, if you think like, let's say Stormcast, for instance. I have the quester, the group of 6 Night Questers. It's the Warcry warband,
Yes,
but
right,
it's
right.
also a unit. It's 6 heroes per the lore. So that unit would make a perfect unit to like level up because they are already 6 heroes. Just mechanics-wise, they're in one unit. It's like that would be kind of cool to level up. Whereas if you had like Grots or something, you probably wouldn't bother with.
Not so much.
doing
Although,
that.
on the other hand, it is kind of funny to like
An elite
hyper level
Grot
some
unit?
Grots. Yeah.
Some people in the last league had one guy, I think, had a clan rat unit that was like he leveled up like a bunch
Oh, wow. Okay.
because it just kept doing well.
That is kind of scary. A giant blob with extra hit points or
probably
like
extra
shaves.
1 rend or something. you know.
Oh.
But
On the off chance it gets through, yeah.
the other cool thing about this book, the coolest thing, and you pointed it out on the page, that was this thing. So what this book? Yes, this book
Terrain.
lets you make custom terrain.
Yeah.
Which, if you are the kind of person that's excited by that phrase, you've already looked in this book. Because being excited to make custom Warhammer terrain, boy, that's niche. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
I think in our community, Russ has made an entire table at this point of extra terrain. That guy is nuts.
Awesome.
Did you see his Skaven mech?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
He has the base of the Skaven, and as he levels up his hero and goes on paths, he's magnetized extra parts on it. So eventually, it's this
I've
huge
not
thing
seen
with
it,
like
no.
gun arms and like a rickety arm made out of wood on one side.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so as his guy grows, he can build this war machine mech.
That's
situation,
cool. That's
right?
really
That's cool.
cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why I love Path to Glory. Is because people do stuff like that you don't usually see in tournaments because the tournaments are about winning. You know, that makes sense. This is about having a good
Guess you
time.
could try to win.
Yeah, we just tried to win. Come on.
Yeah.
Who wins games?
No. I think I have a better rating in AOS than I do 40k.
I have the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really weird. I think I've only lost one 40k game, I think,
No.
if I'm thinking about it. That counted?
Games with me, yeah. I think you've won all of them.
Yeah, I think I've only lost
and then
that.
the duo.
The one where it was an hour, it was 2 hours for half of the first turn,
Oh, sure.
where I was like, I'm just done.
Oh,
I just
fair
need to
enough.
not be
Okay.
here. I think I technically lost that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so custom terrain.
Custom.
So
Yep,
what this is cool is you pick either. So it has a little chart here, and you can go from a 100 millimeter base or a 105/70, a bigger cav base, all the way up to a 160 millimeter base, the pie plate. So if you
Okay.
want to make the biggest, most obnoxious piece of terrain possible, you can.
Yeah.
And so they have points obviously as well, but you can build your terrain piece, and this is with your custom terrain. So if you have custom terrain, you can also have this. You can make your deployment zone completely inaccessible to your own army if you wanted to.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, right. I like
Yeah.
anything that makes it harder for me to play the game
Of course.
that I opted into. The reason you do this,
Right. Yeah. What sorts of things are you putting on here?
Why would you do this? They have lots of cool little abilities, like adding 1 to ward rolls for people around them, adding 3 to controls if you're within 12 of it.
Whoa.
It can do a thing where, like, I like the one with the flaws, because the flaws give you points back for more bonus.
Right.
One of them is
I
just
do
it takes the damage every turn because it's falling apart. Your guys
pretty
can't.
cool.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of cool. Yeah, like basically they add on plus like little stuff like that. I did not. Defensive bolt holes is not what I read a second ago when I glanced over to the
Yeah.
corner.
Yep.
Oh no, Nurgles, look out! They've deployed their defensive buttholes.
Yep. The defensive that's a very Nurgle-y thing. Just
I'm
butt cheek
pretty
terrain.
sure. Wasn't that in 302? Was when they did the defensive butthole maneuver? Because I think historically it was after the Persians defeated the 300 at the Battle of Thermopylae.
Is that 600 or 302?
So see, it's 300 squared.
Oh,
So it's a lot. I don't know how to do that.
I'm not doing that.
No, and then I think after that they fought some ninjas and a rhinoceros, and then the butthole defense.
Cool.
Anyway, that's the story of when the Greeks and the Athenians fought.
Sweet.
I'm looking forward to the comments
Historically, yeah.
for everything I said wrong.
Yep,
there. I was gunning for all of it. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna.
But enough
jump
about
in on that at
Italians.
all. Yeah,
Let's go back
of
to this
course.
book. It's fucking everybody's mad.
Yeah.
So
Hit everyone. Yeah.
the reason you would do this is because you just two kind of cool things at how this works. So one is you get a curator, which is like a little guy that sits beside it. Some of the terrain now has that similar thing where it's like a throne or a shrine. The Lumineth have it. Flesh Eater Courts have it. No, it's like your guy is meant to be on this terrain piece.
Oh, sure.
Whereas you have ones like the Stormcast thing where it's meant to do a thing and you leave it alone. Like nobody's guarding it, basically. So you can have a curator, and the curator is basically guarding it. They can do some stuff with like healing it. They can measure their abilities from it. So if they're a spellcaster, that's why you get the pie plate one. You put your curator on one side, and then they can measure 6 inches from the other side of the pie plate. So you've basically given them an extra 9, I think, inches roughly to their spells. So that's kind of cool.
It's nice.
And then you just put a lot of stuff on it. So like you can make it really fighty, which is funny because it doesn't move. But still, if somebody charges it, they have to fight it.
That is kind of funny. Just incredibly hostile terrain.
Yeah, just
spikes.
Just the tree from Harry Potter, but just punching. I guess that's Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
I had to make some cool hostile terrain now.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
What would hostile terrain for Stormcast be? It's just like a
I don't know.
lightning storm.
Well, that's
situation?
an endless spell they have.
Yeah,
they have the Hammer NATO.
Hammer NATO is cool.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Just a storm.
Okay. Yeah, lightning rock.
Yeah, just a rock, a lightning rod. That's all it is.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
But you're like, hey, why would I put my curator there? Well, they can have things like +1 to casting rolls. They can tunnel around basically, so you can switch them out if you want to have different people be on there. So like
from anywhere.
Let's see. The terrain feature was not placed in this turn. Set the curator wholly to the curator. Oh yeah, that was kind of cool. Actually, that one basically like if it's not reinforced enemy movement phase. This is a weird ability. The terrain feature has a curator that was not placed on it this turn. Set up the curator on the battlefield. That's okay. So if your curator's on the terrain piece, and someone destroys it, you can then pick up your curator and put them somewhere else next to another terrain piece because they had a little secret tunnel. So you don't lose your guy.
A little getaway.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of cool.
That's not bad at all.
I haven't looked at these a lot, you can tell, because I don't. As spoiler, I'm playing Stormcast. I already have a huge ass terrain piece to worry with, so I didn't know what else I wanted to do. But the little one, might be not bad. Like enemy models can't be set up within 9 inches of it. It's pretty good. Just stick that in your back line.
Yeah. It's helpful.
All right. Yeah.
Space.
It's space. I like just the idea of giving it all kinds of magical bolts, and you can also give it heavy buttressing. So if you're like, hey, I got these buttresses, but they're a little too light. You can
make them
shore those buttresses up.
Yeah.
Thick buttresses.
Thick buttresses next to our defensible buttholes.
Oh, man. Honestly, if you're rolling up with defensive buttholes and a thick buttress, buddy, I'm getting your number.
Yeah.
I'm shooting my shot. You know what I'm saying? Right, fellas?
oh, no. Pestigore bros are back.
The dogs are outside. They're losing their mind.
Oh, no.
He keeps talking to us. So the custom terrain feature thing is just really cool from a perspective of like, what a neat idea to model something. Because I think that the custom hero thing is really cool. But you have to kit bash a hero, which means buying expensive kits or sacrificing ones you already had. Whereas the terrain piece could be some bits left over. Like, I saw one person was doing basically a shrine, and it's just covered in weapons. And then, like, a shrine in the middle, it's just leftover terrain pieces and all the extra weapons from all the sprues she hadn't used. Yeah. So, there you go.
Awesome.
Like, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. I really like that. And then the regiment thing, same thing, where you pick your regiment and you set a point limit for them, and they get floors. They get floors.
God,
They get floors. They get floors. They get ceilings.
Floors.
Ugh, the millennial dream.
Oh.
Floors and a ceiling.
Ooh,
Too much.
not happening.
Not happening. Also, you can pick a Gargant.
Hey,
He can be a Gargant if you want to.
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I like the it expands the path to glory a little bit more with some different options for some stuff, and we're currently playing in it, and we've played one game
Yes.
so far. We played Forest Fortress, and we used my Stormreach portal as the Fortress, and I think we realized immediately that mission either needs no shooting or something maybe not to be played at 1,000 points, maybe a full 2K, because I think
need
it was
extra things
turn
to put in
2
front,
when you guys won.
Mhm.
And it wasn't that I wasn't trying to get to you and stop you. It was just like, well, when it's defend this thing that has 12 wounds on a 4-up save, a certain amount of points of damage. Yeah, it has a 4-up save on shooting.
Yeah.
And that's how this map works. Is there's a terrain piece in the middle. Everybody's trying to blow it up, and you're trying to guard it.
You're right.
And there's also the stuff about you can go out and corrupt things. There's all the little side quests you can do, but that's the main goal. Which we didn't do any of the side quests because I realized turn 1, I was like, if I don't try to kill you, you will blow this thing up in the first turn.
Yeah, and
So
we're
I
both
have to.
learning rules as well, so it's just sort of giving us an easier entry there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely seemed like you didn't have enough guys to block us out.
Well, also I was playing Stormcast,
So,
which is
yeah.
always a poor choice for these because you just
defending.
you're not going to have guys. You have to go kill and hope that slows them down.
Right.
And it would, but shooting.
Yeah.
Spellcasting and shooting.
The spellcasting was what was, because the shooting wasn't doing as much, but I think it was the spells we're getting through.
The spells, and someone's going to go, oh, well, actually, as per the rules, spells can't affect that piece. Well, we made some rules changes because, A lot of stuff mentions objectives, and there are no objectives in Path to Glory most of the time. So when you have a guy that does a thing on objective, is that a useless spell now? Is that a useless skill? So we kind of erred and said, this is the objective, is this thing.
Right.
But yeah, so why don't we talk a little bit about that game? Because I was playing Stormcast.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go through my whole list. I'm playing a guy who's a Sacrosanct guy, and he's got heals, and he also has healing spells, and he also has healing abilities. I'm just building
Lots
a
of
Stormcast.
heals.
He heals himself per turn. The end of a turn, he heals 2 units for D3.
Okay.
And his next level up, in the beginning of the turn, he heals a unit for D3. So if I decide to keep investing in him, essentially he's going to just be a bubble of healing constantly.
Yeah.
Which is what you have to do when you have an elite Stormcast army, because otherwise your guys are going to die and they're dead. So
You need the support.
I got him, and then I've got, what do I even have? Little groups of 5s of guys.
Yeah.
I don't have anything particularly exciting because it's a 1,000-point list
So far, yeah.
So I guess my the one with the bow, I forgot what the name of that model is. Oh no,
I was like, that's on you.
it's not a Night Quester, because I do have a Night Quester and I do have the Quester Soul Sworn guys. Stormcast people know exactly what combo I just mentioned by those 2 characters. It's a very standard combo. I don't know. It's the one with the Terminus Great Bow. That's the one I have.
It's a big bow.
Yeah, it's
with the little dogs.
It's the one where I
gross.
think Harrison didn't quite understand what that bow do.
I was trying to,
And you were
I was
like-
trying to
you were
convey.
like,
I was
hide your guys.
This is gonna hurt. This is really gonna hurt.
Don't stand in front of it. That bow is
So-
twice the size of your guy's body.
Yeah.
It will kill you.
That's why I was like, that thing needs to get tied up immediately. You do not want to get hit by that thing at all. So
Harrison's not here. Maybe he'll be on the next show.
no,
But they were playing Zinch.
Yes.
I would say doing some upping downy, but the way we did it was 1,000 points on my side versus 500 of you
Right.
and 500 of him. So it was a rules learning game for you all mostly.
That's
I think I cracked my book once.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if
it's-
that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Stormcast. I know what they do.
Right.
But so Harrison is learning Zinch, which will be cool. Get him on the show, and we can actually go over the Zinch book a little bit. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a cool book. I just have no interest in playing that army. But it has really weird mechanics.
A lot of toolkitting.
Yes.
Like a lot of options for going one way or another.
That one, and it looks like right now there's an Ossiarch list that is the absolute hard combo to it.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
the one I was going to want to do anyway. So now I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to get it against Harrison and just go, hey, no, just bring everything at me. See if this list
Yeah.
works, because it's sort of a list that says, on a 3, spells don't work.
Ow.
Like, it's just so good against magic.
that would be very unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he was mainly focusing on. He's leading with a magic guy, but I think he was actually switching after that game because what sort of happened was he hit that portal with a spell.
Right.
And so
the final damage to that portal
right.
was the spell
Mm-hmm.
that turns people into a chaos
spawn.
So we house ruled that the building gets turned into a chaos spawn because
Right.
that's funny. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think he was sort of spinning that may be his new leader.
Uh-huh.
Is sort of like some sort of whatever came out of that. So he might not be running it directly as like a spawn, but like he's running some sort of creature that has crawled out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's sort of maybe not directly leading as in like shouting orders, but like his army is following this creature that has been created.
Oh
So-
man. I know that cost-wise this would be insane.
Uh-oh, okay.
But to do a Stormreach portal, but to then have like chaos gods coming out of it
Ooh,
would
okay.
be so cool. I've also seen where people do like the portal, but they'll have Gargants wearing it as clothing. So like his arms are coming out the
yep.
side and the portal's like over him like a shawl.
That's pretty fun.
You could do something like that. Or even
Yeah.
just having like big tentacles coming out of it. I think do all that
Cool.
and put it on the normal Chaos Spawn base. So you have this huge terrain piece
Oh, geez,
with
yeah.
like tiny little legs.
Mhm.
Because it's Zinch. He should be kind of Monty
It's
Python-ish.
kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good end to that game. What was my house getting turned into a guy? Not what I
Yeah.
expected. But that's what was Zinch. But there was another force on the table that I was more
Uh-oh.
focused that I
Uh-oh.
ran at with reckless abandon to try to beat the shit out of.
So
what
yeah,
are you playing this league? Ryan,
For
newest
the-
guest to the show,
Yeah.
temporarily. Tell us what you're playing.
For the league, I have picked up the Daughters of Cain, which for a few different reasons, but primarily because a certain someone might just hate them. So I was like, oh, it might be fun to just play the direct opposite. Let's just play the thing you hate the most.
Yes.
So I think it'll be fun for lots of like narrative battles. We can sort of
Oh, yeah.
go head to head in a lot of the things. I think that'll be cool.
And they have new models and stuff.
So and honestly, we were
they put pants on them.
we saw
Finally.
we saw the new models and I was like these are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So because I've been kind of like having difficulty sort of picking a faction to like really step into for the AOS stuff. I've done more 40k. But
Which is why you weren't allowed to pick cities.
yeah, so I
because
did. I've
That's
done,
just what you've done.
yeah. I was focusing on the guard first for 40k. So I was like, the cities look awesome, but I can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
But if they get more knights, I might be interested in looking at something like that. But yeah, so I went with the daughters, and I started out with some blood sisters, some snake ladies. I believe it was blood sisters.
Yes. Woo. The spear ones.
The spear ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started out with the spear ones. Still
I like how
learning
you're looking at
everything.
me like I'm going to
So,
know the
I
name
know,
of any
yeah.
of these guys.
I'm still learning the things, but no, I'm waiting for that new book so I can dive in and really figure everything out. But yeah, so I had some snake ladies, some blood sisters, and then the Melusai iron scale to lead them. And then I had some sisters of slaughter, some witch
Sure.
elves, one of the two. So again, yeah, this was a learning game for me to sort of like jump in, and I pretty much hit the ground, started running, and was stuck the rest of the fight, just getting beaten to death by like 3 different units of Stormcast. So I didn't run up and get into the fight.
Well, yeah, because you
but-
would have one-shotted the temple.
Yeah,
Like, I
if
know how
anything
much
had got
damage
there,
those
yeah.
witch elf, 10 of those things can put out 12 wounds easy. Like, just the sheer amount of dice I would have rolled,
It's a lot,
that
yeah.
you would have gotten that temple down in a hit.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like, I gotta just put everybody into your side of the army.
That
and
is
hope that
entirely fair.
Harrison plays too cautiously, which he did.
He did
to
play
get
quite
up onto my
cautiously.
face.
Yep.
Because I scared him by having that guy like waiting on the wings basically. But he could have run in and probably, I don't know if he would have killed anybody, but if he had focused on the temple, you might have gotten it. But then again, you won on turn 2, so
Yeah, technically.
Yeah,
I think
so
the
I don't-
end. Yeah.
I don't think it really matters that much.
No, that is a very tough
Well,
one.
actually,
so.
yeah, you won on turn 3.
I think it was. I think you're right.
because
right,
I
top of
double
turn 3.
turned you twice.
Yeah.
And then upon looking at the table was like, I have to take this double turn.
Mhm.
Which,
Yes.
the other cool mechanic of the thing with the stealing CP.
Oh, right,
That's
right,
kinda
right.
neat,
Yeah.
where if you double turn, you roll the amount of dice, and then you can, on every 5-up, take their CP. Because I think you guys took 3 of my 4.
Oh, really? I thought it was 2. I
The
thought it was
last
like
time?
half. Okay. Right.
Yeah, so I was like, well, fine. But then he did a spell in my hero phase that killed the tower.
That's
That's why.
that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does that did the thing. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because it was technically. That's right. You're turn 3, top of turn 3. He got that off because of
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So that did make a difference.
Yeah, it did. But it was I think it was a good fight overall. And
That's cool.
You think daughters are going to be like... so let's put the brass tacks out on the table here. Do you own any Eldari?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Technically, yeah.
So I feel like this is maybe a type of army you like, is the kind of glass cannon...
I do appreciate...
Skinny elves people.
I do appreciate, like, get there fast, hit hard. I got hit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
get there fast, hit hard, die.
Yeah, that is kind of what happens. And no, I think that is kind of cool. And I was sort of I don't know. Did you? I was taking a peek at some of the new stuff.
I guess we can go into the new stuff.
Kind of
well, actually, do we want to hit one more break real fast? Just so
sure.
I have a spot for 2 different commercials that no one's going to listen to.
They're
30 seconds, which means that's the skip button on your iPhone if you're on Apple Podcasts.
Pretty fair.
So that's why I do it. 30 seconds and then a second on either side so they don't skip anything.
Yep,
that's right. You're nice. You're nice. I'm nice. You're not nice. Shut up. Why can't neither of us talk today?
I don't know.
We chose the worst day to do this. Anyway, let's hit a break and come back. Bye.
Gigabytes Cafe in Marietta, Georgia is your one-stop shop for everything you need for your favorite hobby or fandom. Gigabytes carries a wide selection of miniature lines including Games Workshop, Reaper, and WizKids, not to mention all the terrain, paints, and hobby supplies you need to supplement your tabletop games. Not a wargamer? The cafe boasts an ever-growing selection of hundreds of board games, TCGs, CCGs, and other nerd-based acronyms eager to join your collections. So what are you waiting for? Go to gigabytesonline.com and start shopping now.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you ready to get back into this?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
I'm...
to get back.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just, you know. Yeah.
We don't have to do the show.
What do you mean?
We can just leave.
Oh, I guess we could.
Yeah. You guys want us to leave? Write in at home if we shouldn't have done the show.
I know, right? I was
Leave a comment if we should not have done this episode.
Yeah, guys, I really... No, I'm going to stop.
Hey, guys, not a good one. Not one of your best. That'd be so good if we got comments that were like mid-episode.
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
It's definitely not going to be a 6 or a 7, right?
No. Hey, and that's why we don't charge anyone a... Fucking hell. That one almost got by me.
I know. I had to... I hate that so much. Yeah.
I saw a billboard driving into Atlanta that said something that was like, it was like, don't try hunting for 6 or 7 bad candidates, use Indeed Job Hunter or whatever, and I was like, it's done.
100%.
The minute
we saw that in the truck.
Yeah, we saw there was another one that was like that too. And now, once it's like a job hunting company has it, it's gone. Sorry guys, your 6-7 meme is over.
No, not a fan. I just thought I just wanted to see if you'd catch it. So yeah,
I did catch it.
Well done.
I threw it back.
No.
Hey, before we go into the daughters thing, which is what we wanted to talk about, is some new daughter stuff real fast. Let's do a rapid fire news and rumor update round. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Adepticon thing is happening.
Yes.
They put a bunch of stuff on that one guy's jacket.
Yep.
What does it say that I can't remember the name of either of the 2 hosts of the Warhammer stuff? And it's been the same 2 guys, and they're not bad. I like them.
No, they're not bad. I feel bad now. You've made me feel terrible. I should remember the names. They seem cool.
One of them's Adam, and the other one can't be James. It can't be James, because that would be James Workshop.
Yeah, so I feel like we would have made that. We would have.
But in my head, it's Adam and James. I don't know. Anyway, if you're Adam and blank, in the comments, sound off.
Oh God, it's.
Watch it. It's gonna be that guy's the one that actually listens to the show.
No, I know, and then we're awful. No, it's. But no, you say that and now I'm like.
I'm looking so hard to find it.
They
don't put it on the website.
Well, they're doing reveals, so it's like I'm always so excited to see what's next.
Yeah,
so I feel bad now. Yeah, I'm terrible.
Well, it's a good promo video, at least on the motorcycle and stuff. Yeah. It's cute. So anyway, Adam's his jacket is covered in patches.
The patches.
And the patches all mean stuff.
Of
and
course.
Everybody's been looking at them, but the one that I give a crap about, I actually think a bunch of them, you've got several cities patches.
Okay, yep.
Kind of scary. Because I don't need them to come in and go, hey, we're completely redoing how Cities of Sigmar works. Unless it's cool, in which case I hope, but that's the army I have the biggest fear of because of C13 Charybdis and my whole Dark Elf side of things. And if they say that's fine, they don't exist anymore, that's completely fair. Some of them are older than you. Like, I get it. But I'm going to still be kind of sad, but I get it.
I highly doubt that.
They did it to the dwarves. If they take all the dwarves and make a dwarf tome, they might take the elves out for a later on Tyrion tome, which is... It's weird. What do you do with the Scourge Runners privateers, guys? They're cool-looking models. They look good still, cool. And they're thematically very interesting, and they don't fit with any other faction in the game because they are mercenary pirate elves.
Well, I did actually in reading part of some of the stuff. Those like that unit in particular, like they were referenced that some of them were hanging out in Harkonnen.
Yeah, well, that's
so
they were based out of there.
That'd be kind of cool to just,
they're on the coast.
Yep.
So like Anvilgard was their spot. You said another word. It was weird, but Anvilgard was their spot.
Oh no,
and
jeez. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
So they controlled a lot. That and Misthaven, which is the one that's like 1,000 boats lashed together, and then when the cops show up, all the boats spread out. So there's no city of Misthaven.
Oh,
and then the city reforms somewhere else.
This one.
That's the one where the Stormcast are like, hey, we're here to stop really bad crime. You're allowed to do normal amounts of crime.
Right, okay.
You're selling drugs and murdering people. That's fine. You're not doing it for chaos. It's funny. The Stormcast there are like,
keep it down,
everybody's
guys.
crooked, less crooked than others. But yeah, so the Scourge Runners, what do you do with them?
Right.
They're not really Dark Elves. They're not really Lumineth. They're not really Ideneth.
No.
They kind of would hate the Ideneth because they're taking their guys.
Yeah.
So
that is a very interesting point. So, and when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I would not be surprised. When you put it that way, of like when you're comparing them to like Ideneth and stuff, it's like what happens when you put in generic elf?
Yeah.
Is that
or
someone's thing? Is it
pirate elf? Because I would say Lumineth is pretty not generic elf, but more standard Lord of the Rings fantasy elf.
It's high fantasy elf. Yeah.
High fantasy elf plus some anime.
Sure.
That's Lumineth basically.
And then cows.
Yeah. Well, that's the anime.
Fair.
Right?
And
the
cows
in anime.
Yeah.
They have cows in Japan.
Probably.
I've met one. I've been around them.
Eyebrow raise? I was like,
no.
I have to annotate.
I know they have to because they have that line in that one Childish Gambino song about now your girl's got that Kobe beef.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where I get my education from.
Yeah.
Anyway, the patches. One of the patches is the wheel, the constantly churning wheel that crushes all underneath it who are humans, but you do it because it moves it forward one drop, and that's worth your life. Anyway, it's the Pontifex Zenestra's whole thing, her cult. So we could be looking at a new cult part of Cities of Sigmar. Maybe leaning into the crazy religious guys, like that one guy who I can't find his figure, who's got like electrical diodes on them. It's like an old Underworlds kit, and they basically put big metal rods on their body because being close to lightning is being close to Sigmar, so they want to be electrocuted.
Oh, sure.
Like, lean into
radical, like, yeah.
Okay. So if they do some stuff like that, it'd be kind of cool for cities.
Sure.
Like the weird cult stuff. Like, these people all cut off one pinky because they think that gets them closer to Sigmar, and even though he's right over there, he doesn't stop them. It's really funny to do stuff for gods when he's like hanging out with you.
Yeah. No, I think that is very Warhammer. Like just going off the deep end. So
I think that's cool. That's rumor number one.
Number one. Okay.
We're gonna do an episode about the Adepticon reveals at the end of the week.
Yes.
And what we think about them, because I bet there's going to be a new edition of the game. And by bet, I mean I can almost promise that they're going to talk about it.
It's going to be there.
I'm surprised it wasn't at Gamma.
Right.
But maybe they were just like, just hold off and do it all at Adepticon this year.
Sure.
Other rumor thing real fast. As in the last couple of days, there had been a bunch of rumors from people who are respected rumor people, which is a weird thing to say.
Honestly, yeah. But okay.
But I get what that means in this context. And they were talking about all the new things that could happen to Age of Sigmar next edition, which is still going to be like 2 years away. Right. One of the things was that here's the current rumor. Sigmar gets killed. They collapse all of the mortal realms into one planet. The Stormcast can no longer resurrect. Skaven are now the primary enemy, and the game is now the name of the game is changed from Age of Sigmar to Warhammer Fantasy: The Last World. Now, let's go over why none of that's gonna happen. Because so parts of that might sort of happen. Sigmar dying. Sure, if that's a story beat, it's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah.
We already know the Stormcast don't need him to resurrect. They have their own Anvil.
Yeah.
It would affect nothing. Sure. If that's what they want to do with the story, sure. Skaven winning and becoming the main threat for everybody, okay.
Yeah.
That's the most likely.
Yeah.
Like that probably is where the story's going to go. Because they keep doing this big bad, but then it goes away next season thing. It'd be cool to have one that wins And now
Sure.
the next season is like, well, we're all dealing with Skaven.
Right.
So that could be kind of interesting. Renaming the game Warhammer Fantasy: The Last World is dumb on a level that we understand from the business perspective of you are going to go change the name of every single SKU of this item and every single existence of that. Every logo on every box, every bit of media, every marketing material, every poster you've ever made, your entire booth display that you have,
No.
every statue that has a metal thing on the front, you have to rebrand those. That's insane.
That's a lot.
And what's the win?
I mean, that's just combining both games at that point.
Well,
too,
no, they'd
right?
still have Warhammer Fantasy, the old world, and then you'd have Warhammer Fantasy, the last world, according to this rumor.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that just
completely
doesn't- no, that
no, it's
doesn't-
completely dumb.
I
Because
don't think that makes
then
sense to
people
me.
aren't going to be able to find the game they want to
No.
play because you have two games with the same name. 'Cause
Yeah.
Let me tell you this, Warhammer Underworlds, it's called
Right.
Shadespire because you made that name bigger on the box and we all call it Shadespire even
Yeah.
though technically it's called Underworlds and there's 6 versions. I don't see Warhammer Harrowdeep on there. I see Shadespire Harrowdeep. Which
Okay,
is
sure,
not what
sure.
its name is. But we also
Right.
don't call it Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Let's call it Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So we're not going to call it the first name anyway. That'd be dumb. It'd be dumb from
I
a
understand.
marketing perspective alone
Right.
to do that. But then the logistics, redoing the name of the
Ugh.
entire line, it's 11 years old now.
Oh, wow.
Every
yeah, okay.
single box and product would have to be redone to match this. But Zach, they just renamed the paint. I get hey, you're allowed your opinion, person on the internet. But go look at the size of that paint label. And then go look at everything else they'd have to do for every other box.
That's pretty
It's
fair.
pretty easy to change the size of the paint label and just have new paints as they come out switch to the new label.
Mhm.
That's different than rebranding the entire section
It's the whole
of
game.
the game.
Yeah, that's the game. Yeah.
The world blowing up and becoming one realm. Okay, people are like, oh, that's logical because Warhammer Fantasy was one planet. That's fine. It's going to have to be a bigger planet than any understanding of planets because
Yeah.
you have things that number in the billions in this setting. To pare them down to all live on a planet would be almost impossible. Let's say even then you just wanted to do that. The Realm Gate is the way you transfer between realms.
Right.
The Realm Gate is an icon that is in every Age of Sigmar thing. When you play the game with the app, you
Mhm,
click the
mhm.
little Realm Gate icon. So like all of this stuff around that symbol
Right.
that would no longer make any sense.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you took lightsabers out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to undo the concept of that. Or like, but there's a better one. It'd be like if you took away hyperspace. So Star Wars only took place in one galaxy. And it was just the one that they can travel to in sublight.
No.
Well, then
like
what
you
would be the
said,
point of, like, it doesn't
It's
make
the
sense.
backbone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the backbone of the it's the realms. Like you're going around the realms. So,
So
it is the backbone of the
I could
game.
be wrong. I might be wrong. But I'll put my foot down on this. I
don't
don't think they're renaming the game.
So-
And I don't think they're going to, like, drastically change. Because all this was saying the rules are still the same. And, like, none of the factions are going away. And there's new factions being added. Like, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That makes sense. I don't think they're going to change the name.
No.
That's just silly. Whether or not Sigmar dies, whatever.
That's
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
It could still be the Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
You know, a guy can die and still be like worshipped and revered. Some would say 2,026 years after his death, if you're thinking of the same special guy that I'm thinking of.
Oh, I was kind of thinking about a different guy until you said the year, but yeah,
Oh, yeah. What guy were you thinking of?
it's about the Emperor.
Oh, I was thinking of Jesus.
Yeah, I was like,
The Emperor in my heart.
Right, yeah.
He sits atop the golden throne in
Yeah.
my heart.
oh, of course, of course.
When there was only one set of footsteps, that's where the Emperor carried me
Oh, okay, okay.
like a little baby in his arms.
Yeah.
He strapped me to one of those Grey Knights papooses that look
Oh
really stupid.
God, let's not talk
It's
about
so
those.
dumb. That's the good part about opening the show up to more 40k stuff is we can make
Yeah.
fun of 40k stuff
True,
because there's
okay.
some goofy stuff in
There's
that
some
setting.
Goofy shit.
That planet that's a fat guy.
yeah.
I'm making something from that planet. That's my origin for our next crusade. Whatever I am, Nurgle coming out of that guy.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of silly stuff we could do. So yeah.
So that's our rumor wrap up right now for what's
Okay.
currently going around the Grand Alliance forums and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
and hey, if you're one of these people saying these things
Mhm.
and you want a media thing, we'll do a call in. Like,
Oh,
if you want
yeah.
to be a leaker on the show, we are not sponsored by Games Workshop. We're not affiliated by them in any way, shape, or form. We do not get free items, and we specifically do not have a Patreon. We are the most free to say whatever we want.
Great point.
Which is funny because we are also probably, out of all the shows I know, the most times in the room with actual Games Workshop employees.
Sure.
Of a high enough level that they could go, you guys need to stop. And we would probably need to stop.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That would be a very funny interaction to be the leak podcast that you'd start, the outlet.
Oh, yeah.
And
That'd be
get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I don't want to
yeah.
be the leak podcast, but I'd
No.
love to talk to somebody. Because they also said,
curious.
like, Beastmen are coming back in the next edition. But they're not Beastmen, but they are beastly men.
Right.
So people are like, oh, like savage men that live out in the wild. Like the Dark Oath, which is a whole sub-faction that does have a lot of models in it. So rumor people are crazy. And I do like reading them, but sometimes you read stuff and you go, oh, they're going to completely remove Stormcast from the game. Sure.
Start shoving them back into the corner. It's like, nope.
Oh, yeah, that's the last thing. The Stormcast can't resurrect. They've done that storyline like 5 times. And so it's not really they can't resurrect because of Be'lakor. They can't resurrect because the Skaven got something. Right. The Hellsmiths can do something against them. Like, everybody's got a way to stop them from doing that. So it's not really that cool to stop the Stormcast from resurrecting. But then to permanently change the faction's identity to say they don't resurrect. That's such a weird battle tome to end, because it's basically like, hey, for a long time they did a thing that they don't do anymore. Here's your battle tome. Also, I punched the table. Still doesn't count. Still doesn't count.
We're getting a lot of close calls there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So speaking of getting close and nasty and bloody.
Okay.
And I don't know a good segue for this.
All right.
Speaking of rituals and
let's anoint
shrines and stuff. Which one are we looking at?
Bloody success. So what do you mean?
What do you mean?
No.
With that cell phone case,
okay.
You pointing that at me is funny. You're going, what do you mean?
I'm trying to get it in view to where I'm still talking here.
Wait, can I get a picture of you doing that for there we go. That's also going on the Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So you all can see what I'm dealing with over here.
Oh, no.
Fighting for my life.
Well, I mean, I'm on the article where they were sort of talking about, like,
we're talking about Daughters of Cain.
Yes,
right. I don't know if
sorry.
we said that.
No, we no context was given whatsoever for the last 2 minutes.
2 hours.
So true. So I'm on the Daughters of Cain article because, again, that was what I was going to pick up. I do think it'd be fun to be your mortal enemy.
I just read the first sentence of this. I had not read it yet.
Yeah. Blood for the other blood god.
Blood for the other blood god. That's pretty good. As a World Eaters player, I approve.
Yeah.
Continue.
So yeah, there are a handful of things in here. To be honest, the first 3 little blurbs from the book are basically like, oh, you have an anointed guy. Oh, you can make him come back. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, wait, no. I should probably talk about this one. So the Melusai, can sort of ping for mortals if some of your guys are dying around you. That's fun. That's cool. But yeah, these other first 2 things are sort of like kind of going around. You're going to have a specific person that is anointed at any time that some of your new abilities are going to kind of interact with.
Yeah.
So you have kind of like your focal point for the army for the time until they die, which is not bad, as you might see later with some of these abilities. But the whole...
Kind of cool, too, because it's like a little Path to Glory-ish of you picking your guy to be the hero.
Yeah.
Well, I guess your lady.
Yes. So... And yeah, they're sort of focused around completing blood rites, which makes sense. Lots of flavor here. So previously,
flavored blood.
Iron. So yeah, previously it was kind of like, every round you'd get slightly better at a thing, and you'd accrue that over the course, and you'd be better at a handful of things by the end of the game. Now you are attempting to complete a handful of different rites, which are basically like, one of your anointed dies. You destroy someone with your anointed unit. Some of your guys, some of your ladies die on an objective, or near a place of power, or any units die near a place of power. Basically, whenever blood is spilled.
Yeah.
So, which, again, makes a lot of sense.
Cain does not care from where the blood cometh.
Huh? Yeah.
Slightly different, legally distinct.
It's
legally
just
distinct
different enough
catchphrase.
Yep. So yeah, whenever these things happen, you can choose from a list of blessings of Cain to put forth on the battlefield. So you can, just to skim, you can, add 1 to hits, wounds, add to your move, subtract from hit rolls, retreat and charge. That's pretty awesome. And then, add 1 to your chanting rolls. So you have a lot of options to choose from. So very sort of almost like toolkitty in a way. Like you can kind of like decide where you want to go.
And they can stack.
And they stack.
Well,
Yep.
They don't stack, but
Well,
you can have more than one active on
You
a
can only
person.
have one of a given thing. Well, this is actually, it's army-wide.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, so it is,
Oh, yeah, no,
army-wide. But
I mean, army-wide +1 to wound.
yeah,
It's just nice.
it's pretty good. The last final thing they gave us a teaser on was the new models, the Blood Hags.
Yes.
At the once per turn as a reaction, whenever you're doing that blessing ability, you can pick 2 if they destroyed a unit. So if you got your Blood Hags front and center doing some damage, you can add an additional blessing. So, like turn 2, you get them in there. If they manage to kill somebody, you're gonna start racking up those blessings pretty quick.
Well, it seems like you want to. Well, when we get to the book, we'll know this for certain. But like once per turn, end of any turn. So you're going to get this. You're guaranteed. Well, we say there's 5 turns in a game, but the 5th one wouldn't really matter as much. And we both
And
know
first
that-
turn is not really.
Yeah, your turn 2, 3, and 4 are where the meat is. Mostly 2 and 3 for most armies.
Right.
So like you're gonna want to try to find a way to get somebody over there to kill as fast as you can on turn 1 or 2. So like that speed is really important to like run up, fight, maybe also die. That's fine. Like to get this ramped up. Because hitting them with that, getting 2
off turn 2 or 3 would be big.
Yeah,
Really
and it's
big.
just an enemy unit. Now, I don't think we've seen anything about their actual combat profile, have we?
No, I don't believe
I'm
so.
gonna guess it's probably 2 attacks each, 3s and 3s, rend 1, damage 1. That's gonna be my guess. We'll come back to this episode.
Damage 1. Oh, I was
Most stuff in
expecting.
AOS is 1.
Really? I figured like big swords. Granted, now I've not seen as much stuff. I figured they probably fit into the role of like big swords, maybe 2
their
damage.
big sword is the size of a Stormcast dagger.
Sure.
So like if that's the scale, then a
Fair.
Stormcast guy with a sword the size of this lady is doing 1 damage. So she's probably the daughters have never done a whole lot of damage on the damage side. What
Sure.
it is it's like 3 attacks per person. So you have a group of 10, that's 30.
Yeah, I could
Plus
see
you
way
have
more attacks.
1 for the hero. Plus there's probably a way to give them an extra attack in the book. So you're looking at like, it only does 1 damage 60 times.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
I
which
can
is
see that.
better for high save stuff because, my 2-up save, I'm going to be fine on that unless you make me roll 60 dice, in which case I will die.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it's, a bunch of paper cuts,
Bunch of
basically.
paper cuts. Yeah.
I think the bigger damage comes out of the snakes, but even then, like,
Yes.
I doubt in this book we're going to be seeing anything higher than a 3. Even
Sure,
Morathi.
okay.
Maybe Morathi gets like a 4.
I can see that. Yeah.
Maybe. But I feel like it's going to be a lot of 1s and 2s. But with the goal of like bulk attack 1 and 2s.
Get out there, swing a bunch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a very quick and dirty, like everything that's in here. So I'm very curious to see, when the book comes out, like what more, what all the new battle lines are doing, because that's kind of been my hang up with building more ladies, is what those new battle lines are probably gonna be. Are the shields and the swords getting mixed together?
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining probably. So just kind of turn it into weapons, like a lot.
Yeah,
so.
that's kind of the welcome to the AOS side.
Yeah.
The first edition of your guide, it'll matter if he has a stick or a ball. Second edition, it'll just say stick ball.
Stick ball, yep.
And that's what he's got now.
Which is kind of fun to just be able to kind of build them how you'd like, because that's kind of, I was like, the shields are kind of cool, both blades is kind of cool, so it's like, which way are you going to go?
It is. It's so frustrating, the few models that they have that don't have that rule, that are still WYSIWYG, because it's like, like the Dark Oath is one. The horses have to have swords or javelins because they are 2 different profiles. And I get it. It was to make
arranged,
and it was to make a kit. The Dark Oath, if you look at it, it's like 5 kits.
Okay.
So they had to make, this one's got another option, so you have a little more fluff. But it is frustrating because as I'm building my Dark Oath guys, I'm looking at it like, God, do I want to put javelins or swords? Like, kind of need some of both, but how many of each? Am I reinforcing?
Yeah.
It's nice that now most of the time it's just some shit they have. I love the cities one where it's like, what do they have? I don't know. Stick, a weapon, a club, a boot.
That's how
whatever it is.
That's how the Krieg Cav are. It's like, you got all 3 weapons. You got all 3. You got the javelin, or you got the spear, you got the gun, and you have the sword. You got them all. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, in the future, maybe if Dark Oath get turned into something like that, where it's like, they have the javelin and the sword.
Yeah.
Sword, yeah.
So, some of them are like really daggers, but,
Yeah.
It's basically, do they have a throwing attack or not?
Right.
Is the trick.
Yeah. And is it that crazy not to just have both? I mean, like, I'm saying, is the javelin attack that good?
It's different. Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad.
It's not. No, the
shit.
javelin tech
Okay.
I think is better right now because
Ooh,
the javelin
okay.
tech lets you throw and then charge in and then fight. You have less attacks in the combat, but
Right.
you also got to do a shooting attack.
Yeah.
Okay. But Dark Oath, I'll play my Dark Oath against you at some point,
Yeah,
and you'll
yeah.
see how difficult that army is to pilot. Because the way it works is your
Yes.
guys have a quest. So like your horse
This
guys,
was super cool whenever you were describing how it worked.
like
though.
your horse guys are like if they're in fight with an enemy unit
Mhm.
and they're the only enemy unit and they charged, then they get a permanent boost the rest of the game.
Right.
And you go, that's great. They're on a 5-up save.
Yeah.
They're not making it that much
No.
longer. So
Yeah.
the Dark Oath is like, this is cool. Oh, they're all dead. This is cool. Oh, they're all dead. Like it.
That's tough.
I haven't figured
yeah.
out how to get that army to ramp properly.
Right.
Maybe at some
okay.
point. Or if you're playing at home and you're playing Dark Oath, now here's the caveat: I'm only using Dark Oath. I'm not allowing
Right.
myself to use other stuff because other stuff, yes, you could make. If I play Slaves to Darkness and I have some Dark Oath as a screen and like, yeah, that makes sense. But I want to go pure Dark Oath. How do I make that work? And don't say the Army of Renown. It's worse.
No. Okay.
They
yeah.
give you an army that's bad. It's not. It's hard. It's hard to use. Anyway,
Okay.
Daughters doesn't look hard to use.
Not as no.
Looks like it's going to be pretty much a run up and stab. It's weird that it's paired up against Sylvaneth. Because you sort of expect these releases to kind of maybe be thematic, but not really.
Okay.
So, I don't
Yeah.
know. So what else made you want to pick Daughters? Just the elf go fast thing?
Well, like I said, I do think picking your mortal enemy is
pretty good.
I think it'll be fun for like playing games. Like,
Yeah.
and it'll keep having reasons to butt heads. That grudge is never gonna go away
I agree.
at that point.
And
So,
hey, I win because I don't have to paint any flesh tones, and buddy, you do.
yeah,
Because a lot of those ladies are not wearing clothes.
they are not. So I've been trying to thinking on a paint scheme has been tough because like I don't think I want to do like the standard. I think doing something like more like like a pink purpley kind
Yeah.
of weird,
Kinda like how Nova's look that
yeah,
you've been
leaning
using.
more that direction. So I think that could be cool. Yeah, I haven't fully decided yet, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I also need to do some research because I've not done much on the skin tones. So, and that's gonna be a lot of what it is.
Now, are you going to
So-
go Team Marathi, Team Crone, or Team Kill Them Both and be in charge?
Yeah, I think I think leaning in the middle and kind of like trying to decide. Yeah, I think, like you said, if you can go from one crusade to the next, I think it would be kind of interesting to kind of go maybe in between and
Yeah.
maybe see where I land near the end. Because I know you mentioned like they may be sort of leading into it in the future that maybe we revisit Anvilgard, Harkonnen, like maybe we revisit this and like we
Some
kind of-
signs are pointing.
right, we see something like this in the future. So I think it could be cool to kind of like play in the middle until we maybe see some of that, or maybe we do that on our own
Yeah.
and we play it, revisit it.
If they
So-
don't want to write it, I'll write it.
right, yeah,
By
that'd be
golly. Well, I'll build my own Anvilgard
cool.
with
Yeah,
blackjack and no hookers.
no, okay.
Daughters aren't allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, got him. Got him. Got him.
Okay.
Gonna start the smack talk early on.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
this.
I see how it is.
Yeah,
All right.
it's it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool.
Do Stormcast sleep?
I don't actually.
Oh.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if they need to or they just
Probably not.
do because it feels like they should.
That makes more sense.
But
I
now
can
that
see
I'm
that one.
quit, I'm like, well, they don't mention it in the books, but also,
Well, they don't poop in the books either.
Yeah,
do
they don't
they?
poop.
You know what I mean? Well, I need to know.
Actually- hold on. Well, if they eat, do they have just a little lightning inside of them? It just evaporates it. Yeah.
That's a.
How does that work? Which here's our final question.
Okay.
Walking away from this, which race do you think has the worst poop?
Beastmen?
God, I think that's just like cows and stuff. You
Yeah,
know.
but they're eating anything.
Yeah, but they're eating anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
That's Warhammer Fantasy, the old New World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Pestigors are still in it, so technically.
True. That's
yeah.
that's even more.
Actually,
nasty.
everything but Corngors are still in
Yep.
it. See, I'm thinking like, what's gonna smell the worst? I mean, Skaven, yes, but also Skaven maybe not. Rats don't really have stinky poop that much.
But Skaven.
Yeah, but I mean, they're kind of just rats. I don't know. See, I think it's gonna be Gargants.
Oh.
Because it's Gargants, you got a volume to worry about
Yeah.
when it's coming out. Like, and it's not good, and they do not wipe. I can almost promise you. Also, we have got some rumors.
How much
for
worse fighting a Gargant would be? You just look up and it's
oh,
not
you know
clean
that
at all.
they're just- well, just imagine you're fighting a Gargant, and he just decides to just go ahead.
Yeah.
in the middle of the fight, just stepping over you. Just
Yeah.
oh
That's
no,
so miserable.
seal the buttholes. Oh
That's
no,
why you need those sturdy
you
buttresses.
gotta get
yeah.
those sturdy buttresses.
It's important. Cover them up. Yeah.
I think that's a good time to end this show.
Jeez,
Gargan's
yeah, it's
taking
just-
a
it's
poop
not
on
gonna
you
get more sane.
as they step over you. That's the D3 damage as they
Oh,
step
what did they eat for lunch?
over.
Yeah.
So I guess we should. So overall, blighted wilds,
Bloated Wilds.
bloated wilds.
It's still Nurgle-y.
Yeah, it still works. Blighted Wilds is a cool little book if you can find a copy, which is apparently
Okay.
hard to do
Oh,
now.
right.
All their narrative stuff is like that. Like if you like the narrative stuff, just go ahead and buy it and that's not like a pressure thing. It will be hard to find.
Okay.
Like I think
sure.
Ravaged Coast, the other one is like pretty much out of print at this point.
Okay.
So, if you want it, go find it.
Okay.
And we'll do some updates with some league stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
And as always, like and subscribe if you're watching this on
Do the
YouTube.
thing.
Do the pleasantries, please. That YouTube likes it and tells us that we're doing good, and it makes us feel good.
It makes me feel better.
Yeah, it makes Ryan. I mean, and look at him, honestly. Look at
Jeez,
the
I
picture
know.
on the Instagram.
Look at that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
How-
Hey,
how-
for $1 a day.
Grody, am I going to look at the end of the work day just all slimy there?
Holding that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Pretty grody.
Yep.
But anyway, we should get out of here and go do some stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I'm hungry.
yeah, let's get out of here. So then,
Nom, nom, nom.
for the Atlanta Warhammer podcast,
I've been Ryan.
and I'm Zach, saying, get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. Goody mob.